Okay. Yeah. Meh. All right. Just kind of get in things squared away. Here we go. Just kind of getting everything squared away here. All right. All right. Welcome to Sea Monster Live episode 72. We got ourselves a bit of a special stream, which I've been meaning to get around to starting. Yeah. Hey, Antonio. Oshi. This week marks the 1-year anniversary of World of Worlds 2025. Just all my life just to spy on people's Amazon carts. Space King 5 comes out today. Sorry. That's fine. We all have priorities. I understand. That's fair. Yeah, I kind of. It was one of those things where I didn't even realize. It was like when I scheduled this, I pretty much thought like, well, I was kind of planning on doing a stream at some point, but I was thinking like, what could I do in August? And I realized, oh yeah, Aliens turns 40 this year. Well, technically it came out. It turned 40 years back in July, but obviously, there were other things. Ridley Scott said Romulus was okay. Thoughts? Well, here's the thing. He is technically like like a producer or executive producer for Romulus, so it's not exact. So it's not really that much. So it's kind of it's pretty much. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of like getting things prepped here. So it's kind of one of those things where it's kind of more of like a interest, I suppose. It would be a conflict of interest, I suppose, if he said anything else. But anyways, we got some chat. We got Marina.
The Alien Queen is hot. Yeah, Aliens. It's probably like my favorite film ever made. I've been dying to like talk about this franchise, and like the only one I can really talk about is with Lau. So like getting to like to do this is like really like exciting for me, especially
Oh
because
yeah.
it's Aliens, and like Aliens introduces my favorite piece of Alien lore, which is the Queen. Also with Vic's comment, I need to rewatch it. I remember really liking it when I would first watch it because it like gave me the Alien experience I wanted again after the prequels. But it's very funny that when the film was coming out, Ripley Scott was like, "Oh man, it's fucking incredible." And then now that he wants to like rewrite the sequel to put like fucking David and like his prequel shit in, he's like, "It was okay, I'm just coming back in to help." He's like, "No, please no." Bring back James Cameron because then I may get to see the Queen again, and that's all I really want. I just want to see the Queen alien again.
Yeah, because apparently, like Ridley Scott may end up doing doing like a third of the prequels.
Oh no, he
At
is.
some point. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
so basically,
I
so
think
like
it
I
was
mean, if he
confirmed.
so,
Yeah.
so basically like him thinking that Romulus is okay, may not doesn't really mean anything considering like he would be wanting to work with Fox to get his third prequel out.
Yeah.
So
The
like if he was
issue
talking
with
shit
like
about Romulus, then
the issue of like the franchise in general is like the law's really like kind of fucked at the moment. That like Covenant was trying to establish that David could the xenomorph, which is like the most like baffling like can't say mean words on here, but like it's a very dumb choice creatively, and like it's a really stupid choice creatively. to try and explain where the xenomorph comes from and making it from an android. Because at that point, is it really an alien? It's basically just a bioweapon. You may just call it bioweapon. Bioweapons, bioweapon resurrection. And like the alien shouldn't be like a bioweapon. It should be like basically a space demon. Like it's meant to be more Lovecraft, like cosmic horror, fear of the unknown, than just like a weapon or like a bug. Which like it was technically a bug in the first film, but like there was still enough unknown about it that like you could work with that for like a story. A lot of people
Yeah.
like to say that aliens ruined the mystery of the alien, and I don't think so, because with the alien queen, yes, it does explain where the eggs come from, but it's also a case of what came first, the chicken or the egg. You know, like what
Yeah.
came first, the queen alien or
What's
the
up?
overmore? Hey Hoshi.
Yeah.
Just to let you guys know, I won't be here for a couple of minutes, and I'll be leaving because I'll be watching Coyote vs. Acme.
All right. Sounds fun.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
also, RIP to Pierre Cullen. He will be missed. He is the greatest.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace to the
Yeah.
living
Yeah.
legend.
This week was kind of balls in terms of all
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
We
it
a
was a
lot
very
of
three
legends
hectic
died.
week.
celebrities.
Yeah. Been a
Yeah.
been a very pretty shitty year. Last couple of months, really. For
Yeah.
here, like legends in the culture. Trying to rephrase my words. It's been a very shitty couple months. Like legends of like media. Like Sam Neill, Tim Curry, Dolly Parton, Peter Cullen. It sucked.
Kelly Harrell.
Yeah,
I'll even,
Katie
Even
Harrell.
I'll
yeah.
even, and I can't really let that. I can't. I can't not mention Hayden Panettiere. For me at least, considering she was in Heroes and some of the Scream movies, what have you.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, movie was good. I really liked the first Alien movie, and I thought it was one of the greatest sci-fis ever made. That's all I had to say. Anyway, I'm going to be leaving now.
All right, thanks for
All
stopping
right,
by.
bye bye.
Okay.
But yeah,
So with this stream, are we gonna essentially kind of going over just like the film, like just kind of just talking about the film and like our thoughts in general?
you got to talk about the film thoughts in general. Maybe sort of like give some, kind of like give some insight about like some of the writing and what have you, as well as like some of the how the movie is put together, what have you, like how it's done.
Because if we're gonna talk about some parts of the film, especially since it's a sequel to a previous film,
Yes.
I wanted to speak about, because I think this film has done a lot good for the franchise, but it did one thing very bad for the series that I think has left a mark on it, is that it kind of gave people the perception that the xenomorph is like this like mindless drone that just runs into gunfire and gets
it.
slaughtered. It gave the xenomorph a lobotomy.
Yeah, this is the thing I was saying on the last sim stream. When you make certain choices, whether they're good or bad, like you need to understand how much you're locking forever. Like you cannot undo it at a certain point. And the problem is that, I mean, it's not a problem. The movie was so good that now you cannot ignore it. You cannot undo it.
Yeah, it
Funny
made a
enough,
mark in
that's something that
history.
Ridley Scott has been trying to do for who knows how
Yeah.
long. When was the last time we've seen an Alien Queen?
AVP 1.
Yeah.
So
The first
Resurrection
AVP
then.
film.
Like in the timeline,
Oh yeah, Resurrection.
Resurrection.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah, it's funny
timeline, it
'cause-
was Resurrection.
Yeah, which in that like set like like how many like it's like set like 300 years after Alien 3.
Yeah, it's basically its own
I
timeline
thought
at this point
200
as well.
actually, but it might be
It's
200.
it's so far apart that you can easily ignore it from the continuity to the point that it's
Yeah.
almost like AVP. It's almost like its own thing
Yeah.
at this point. Sadly,
Yeah.
because I
And
think that the
with,
movie's bad, but
Mm.
it's still like with what it's trying to do, it's still like a really cool action cheesy movie.
Yeah,
If you like that type
but
of action,
yeah.
that's one to watch.
It's also got one of the funniest chestburster scenes in the entire franchise.
And one of the funniest characters with this what was his name? Hellboy.
Wait, was it Ron Perlman's character?
Ron
Yeah,
Perlman. Yeah.
yeah. Rob
Yeah.
Perlman.
It's funny that you mentioned that Ripley's been trying to kind of like move away from what like Aliens established, and what he's substituted for was Prometheus and Covenant. So maybe it's it's even he's like put some of those like parts of the like what Aliens established into his film, like the xenomorph like behavior in like Covenant. It's basically like an erratic monster. There's very like few scenes of like the xenomorph like not being like this like erratic jumping around like creature. While in like Alien, it's very slow, very like almost like graceful in like the way it like carries itself. And then
Yeah.
Covenant comes around, and since it's like they can like do more stuff with it because it's a VFX model, it's just jumping around doing all these crazy stunts, and it just like doesn't feel the same.
It's like he replaced aliens, which apparently he feels like that shouldn't have been how you did things, even if he has never said it out loud, with something else that also shouldn't have ever been part of the franchise because it
He's
doesn't
he's kind of he's kind of replaced the xenomorphs with like the raptors from JP3, just give them like a xenomorph skin. When like just like the raptors from like the Jurassic Park franchise in general, like the way they like behave. Well, mainly after after the first film, because like in the other films they become a lot more animalistic.
Mhm.
Hmm.
98 reference?
You know what? Alien Resurrection was made by a French person, so maybe it was a 98 reference all along.
Oh no.
But also, like me and Lara were talking about this, there are like ways you could try and like I guess like soft retcon the aliens from Aliens to be different xenomorphs from the one from Alien. Because there are like differences, not even just like the design, but just like the like even like the eggs. The eggs in Alien are much different from the ones that are in Aliens. The chest bursters are different. The face huggers, the same pretty much. And we were like talking about like how you could maybe just say like they're different, they're like a different subspecies of xenomorph. Like the ones we see in Aliens, just like a different breed that maybe are like more animalistic and less intelligent.
Yeah, because like
You could
the
even
alien,
say,
yeah, like the xenomorphs. So, like aside from the Sans the Queen, they're basically like the warriors, like or at least like drones.
Yeah.
Whereas
The in current lore, the ones we see in Alien and like Alien Isolation, those are the drones, and then the ones with the rigid carapace, they're called the warriors. I don't know why they're called warriors because they're pretty shit at it, but
yeah, they literally just die really fast. The thing is,
yeah.
I think I told you this. What I think you could do to not have to live by aliens, but also
Mm-hmm.
like expand the possibilities and hopefully just forget about this whole Prometheus bullshit. Just say that when there's a queen, the queen controls them, so they all act more like an extension
Mm.
of her than independently. I think that
See,
will be super
I've
simple, so
yeah.
you can actually start having some aliens act more independently and smartly
Mm.
too, thinking for themselves instead of just
Yeah.
suicide kamikaze bombing everyone because the queen wants them
I
dead.
I'd also maybe say that like you could have it that like the aliens in like if you want to like because like for some reason the franchise, despite the fact they'll insist the xenomorph is the perfect organism, it gets killed off like really easily. Like just plasma bolt fires, it was just like eviscerate the poor motherfuckers. If you want to have like the aliens like like there be different breeds of alien, like as I said, just make the ones we see in Aliens just like a different like subspecies. They're like the xenomorph cousins, like the ones we see, and that could explain like all the different xenomorphs we see throughout the franchise. Well, aside from like maybe like the dog alien, but like with like the alien from like Aliens, Alien, and Alien Isolation, you could just say they're all just different species, and like they're like how like they have like the sections of the egg room in the derelict ship. Those are like different sections of different species of aliens that the space jockeys collected. And if you
Yeah.
really want to tie it into Prometheus, I suggested this while we were talking. You could have it the alien warriors are just like the engineers attempt to recreate the classic xenomorph. And you could either have the queen is created to try and control them, like she's like they're like essentially an extension of their will, or the queen is like the I guess you could say like the purified xenomorph like gene coming out of like the engineer's experimentation, and that's why she's so much smarter than the ones that than the warriors, because the warriors were created by the engineers to just be like dumb mindless drones they could use for conquering planets and doing their thing. But then the queen comes along and she's much smarter because it's just like the actual like purebred alien gene coming out of the engineer's design unintentionally.
Just to answer Vic's question, and this, I don't know if this will throw anyone else's point off. It's like Vic's asking if the xenomorphs come from the same ship. Yes, because you
that's
have
fine.
because Newt's
Yeah.
family, stumbled upon the ship, on LV
Yeah.
426, and the dad kind of like
So
gets a face hugger on him from that ship.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
and so to explain it better, because I remember, so the Serena's point is that in the same ship you have different sections with different eggs, and we
Mhm.
were workshopping this. I don't know if you remember. I told you
Yeah.
a way for
We
you
were
to explain
masterminds.
that the aliens were different from the alien in Alien is that you go in, the ship should be pretty fucked up, but when you go into the first chamber of Alien, you don't see any evidence of Newt's parents, right? Because that hole that they went into was right next to the space jockey, right, in Alien. So what you can do is that then they find another chamber with another hole with some equipment, and when you go in there, the eggs look a little bit different, and there's where you see like something from Newt's parents. So I wouldn't stop too much in it because, of course, in this version of the story, like no one should know about Newt's parents or anything like that. But it's for the audience to piece up together that they went into a different area of the ship. They didn't actually go in the same hole as they went in Alien. They found a different entrance to a different chamber with different decks.
Yeah, and that works perfectly fine too. And then if you like, as I said, if you want to rope in the engineer stuff, you could just have it at the engineers like created their own xenomorph. Well, like the space jockeys created their own breed of xenomorph. Because like now it's unsure if like the space jockeys write their own thing. Because like apparently like that's now a thing in like extended lore, but apparently the space jockeys are different to the engineers.
Yeah, that depends on what Ridley Scott is feeling that day. They're the same, they're different, they're the same, they're different. No, 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 no. They're different, but they're kind of the same. No, no, no. They're the same, but they're kind of different. Like he just varies it depending on the weather, I guess. The horrible UK weather.
yeah, a little
For
bit,
real.
maybe.
But there's like such a simple solution. You could have the space jockeys created the engineers. The engineers replicate their creators, like, a parent imitating their, a child imitating their parents, and then they created humanity. And then humanity tried to replicate the engineers, and it's like a cycle of like creation and destruction.
Yeah.
Or maybe like
It's so
they use the alien eggs to like try and like kill the space jockey. Like there was like an internal sabotage from the engineers, like to kill the creators.
to me the problem is it's so funny that this franchise is not even locked because of a lack of good stories. It's locked in place because of ego.
Yeah, no. Ripley has like an
It's
insane
it's
ego.
Ridley.
Ridley.
Oh yeah, Ridley. Sorry, I keep saying Ripley because I keep thinking of the character.
He's like on his third middle age crisis. He's on the fourth one by this point because he's like
Look,
pretty old.
if he sees the xenomorph at Disneyland one more time, he may kill himself.
I mean, he's like in his 80s right now, so it's kind of like,
Yeah. What type of life crisis would that be? Fourth life crisis? Like how do you call that?
Who knows?
your right
Honestly, I just think
stage.
Ripley just kind of needs to like stay away from like can I just like
Ridley.
let the
They calling him
series like go
Ripley.
and yeah,
His name is Ridley.
look, it's a British thing,
Yeah.
all right. You know, I swear. Um, but Ridley Scott should just let the franchise go to other creatives because while Romulus isn't a very good film, I will say it's a better step in the right direction, like getting the franchise back on track. Yeah. Like at least it tries its darndest to be like a proper alien film. You know, it doesn't try to be like this like pseudo intellectual creates like we were created by Space Squidward. You know, we were created by bald white men that look like handsome Squidward, and the black goo.
Well, the problem is like
The
Romulus
black
has
goose.
the black goo in it, or at least like or
Yeah.
references it.
Well, the
Yeah,
black
and
goo and
that's why.
Romulus. Oh, sorry.
So sorry. Before we continue, the black goo, it's literally just bad writing
Yeah.
because the black goo is just a tool to make whatever monster you want, whenever you want it. You
Mm.
just have to infect someone, and then you can just make up whatever you want and justify it because the black goo here infected him through the asshole. So now we have a different alien. It entered with this stage of evolved like dust into his nose. So now we have a neomorph. So you can literally just use it to do whatever you want. And there's no rules, and no one can judge your ideas because it's like, well, you don't know if it doesn't work like that. Meanwhile, I think it's really obvious that the writers don't know how it works. All they see it is as a tool to do whatever the fuck they want.
Okay. Just so we kind of like try to like start moving it back into like aliens in particular. Like so just to answer Vic's question, is there any lore that explains the blue glowing mist that covers the eggs?
That's kind of like a tripwire. Like that's like a naturally occurring thing for the xenomorphs, and that's kind of acts like a tripwire for them. So that like they like if something enters their like chamber, they're like, oh, something's here. Wait before we can like unfurl ourselves and face hug this like poor chap.
Yeah,
I think
like,
that'd be a pretty cool idea.
yeah, something even kind of happens like in the when Ripley and Newt are pretty much in the egg room where the queen's like at surrounded, and then like one of the eggs, some of the eggs like sort of unfurl because of like their presence.
See,
Essentially,
like I would like you could also maybe argue that's just like something exclusive to the derelict ship. Like that's like a security system. Like someone's gone into like the egg chamber. Like lock it down. But the reason it doesn't because it's like crashed is it also shows up in Romulus. So like it has to be something that the aliens just like create naturally. Which like I'm fine with, but that's like the case.
A slight
Yeah.
atmosphere created by the X or something.
Yeah, I mean, one of the Alien novels tried to establish that the overmorphs emit like pheromones that draw its victims closer to them, which I think is an interesting way to explain why so many like characters in the movies just kind of slowly walk up to the eggs and then get face hugged.
Although,
but then again, that's just like writing for bad writing.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's like, okay, these pheromones attract every species in the entire universe or something, or does it just happen to be humans and that's why we see it work?
Like with like Kane, it makes sense in the Alien because he's a scientist. He doesn't know what he's looking at. He has no idea what he's looking at. But in later movies or like series or like stories, they're just normal fucking people who like at least should have some like some of them are just actual people who like would know what the alien is. So like why are they like just like standing in front of the egg?
well, even if you don't know, I mean, like you even have like you have like for example that scene in Alien Covenant where where
Oh, yeah.
Where Doctor Manhattan, is like brought into this room by David, this dark, dank
No,
room.
I call him Dr. Christian because one of the scenes in the movie early on is where he's like, the reason they don't like the crew doesn't like me is because I'm a man of faith, and it's like, no,
Well, I
they
mean,
don't like you
I call him
because you
Doctor
didn't
Manhattan
let.
because it's the same actor who played him in the Watchmen movie from
Ah,
Zack
okay.
Snyder. But
Praise be Snyder.
it's like what it's like here, get closer to the egg. It's like why? Like, why would I do that?
And then when he wakes up from the facehugger, he's like, "What do you believe in, David? Creation." Fucking dies.
Yeah.
And then the alien does jazz hands. Like, what a respectful way to treat such an icon of cinema. Like,
Okay,
bravo,
to be fair,
Ridley.
yes, just so you know, that was editing butchering the sequence because actually he is manipulated by David into trusting him, and in the novelization it actually works way better. But the movie again, like the editing, just butchered it.
A nitpick for me is that I don't see the face hugger being able to face hug anything that doesn't have a humanoid face. Even if it hugged a dog, I've never seen a rendition of it doing so. In Alien 3, I mean, it's been a while since I've watched Alien 3, but like a
Which Alien
dog
3 are we
does
talking
get
about? Like
at
the
least it's the
3,000 different cuts.
yeah. I mean, like it's a theatrical version. Like the xenomorph in Alien 3 comes from a dog, but in the I guess the assembly cut, if you call it, the extended version, um, the alien came from an ox. So
Yeah, like you can explain because one thing I do like the Romulus established that the face huggers have like little barbs on their fingers so that like it locks them into whatever like creature they they
No,
jump
no,
on.
guys, what I think what he's saying is that if anything has a snout, he doesn't see the facehugger able to go all the way down the fucking snout in the first place to even reach the throat, and that's
Hmm.
true. Like it doesn't matter if he can attach to you,
yeah.
how, like does it have like a
Yeah,
golf
unfortunately,
course
that's like
attached to it?
that's something that's kind of an Alien 3 pretty much problem there. That that movie's sort of
I mean,
like
to be fair, a Rottweiler is not as bad as an ox because of the size difference. You know, with the Rottweiler, I almost could kind of see it, almost like it's not impossible, but with an
maybe
ox,
yeah
yeah, no,
yeah
that's
the problem though is like with the face hugger, like it would have to also like wrap its tail around the neck of the host so that it could be able it would need to be able to securely sort of like be attached to the body, to the face, the head
Hmm.
area.
yeah, exactly. Otherwise, the host will, being an animal, would bite down on it and just die because of the acid.
Which cut of Aliens do you guys prefer? I guess we're pretty much moving back into Aliens now. Um,
So I'm sorry. You go first.
yeah, I mean, I pretty much have watched. I kind of have mainly stuck with the extended cut, essentially. In fact, I even watched the extended cut just earlier to prep for this, so the movie's like really fresh in my brain right now.
I
Alien.
don't think I've ever watched the theatrical cut in my life.
Yeah,
Never.
I think I've only watched it once during during a film studies class back in my senior year of high school, but I mean, I could be wrong, but just going off of memory, I think it was the theatrical cut.
Oh,
But I've watched if I have,
It
I have watched the extended version more often. So at this point, it's like I wouldn't even know what was missing, what was cut
I,
out
I,
for the theatrical.
actually, now I remember that Aliens was the first time I think I watched a horror movie on purpose, which was still by accident. So I like dinosaurs and Godzilla, right? So I saw something that had teeth, and I was like, yeah, I want to watch that movie. So I was like maybe 4 or 5 when I watched Aliens, fun enough, and that I would have guessed. I would guess that was actually the theatrical version
Hmm.
because I just rented it, right? So I don't think that they had the extended version there. So that's probably the first time I'll ever watch it. I'm too young to remember beyond the fact that I actually watched it.
Ah,
So, for me, I've only been able to watch the theatrical cut, I believe, because I don't remember I'm having the segment with Ripley's daughter. But I do want to watch the theatrical cut because like everything I've heard about it, I think it is like the superior cut of Aliens because it's able to establish more of Ripley's like arc throughout the film with her relationship with Newt, and it makes the emotional core of it much stronger when you realize she had a daughter, and
that
it makes
background noise
the
is really bad right now. Yeah, I don't know if it's like a way to.
Sorry, that was just someone in the background. But yeah, I like the theatrical, not the extended cut or the director's cut, I guess you could call it. I think would just be the superior version of the film. Both cuts, I imagine, are great because it's Aliens. It's one of the best films ever made. But I think the theatrical cut, not the theatrical, the director's cut, just does more for like the main character, and it is able to sorry, it's able to give more context to certain things, and also it has stuff like the what's it called, the turret gun sequence. It
Yes.
it's definitely got more in it that allows for more character depth, like with Ripley, and it's one I keep saying because it does do wonders for her character and her arc throughout the film. Knowing that she had a daughter, and it makes the entirety of Alien much more tragic when you realize that she's not going to see her daughter again.
Yeah. It definitely, you pretty much kind of like got that going on. Like essentially the fact the whole experience in the first movie just pretty much took a massive toll on Ripley. Not just from the fact that she can no longer have to see her daughter again because her daughter died, passed away. While she was like still up in space, while Ripley was still up in space because of the 57-year time jump, where she was like kind of like where her and Jonesy were kind of just like out there essentially, but also because of the whole, obviously the trauma, what have you, the PTSD, and like the night terrors essentially, as well as the nightmares and the chest pains that she kind of gets from even just thinking just from those nightmares, which gets called back into when when she's actually on LV 426 and she sees the cam, like essentially the head cam feed where a chest where they encounter a civilian from a colonist with a chest burster coming out. And there's like it's like a bit of a psychological thing going on there.
It's really funny you mention that because for the McFarlane Movie Monsters series Alien Queen back in the day, it had a base that had that exact colonist like strung up on like the wall, and there was a little action feature where you could push like a lever through the back, and the chest burster would burst through its chest.
Oh
It
god.
was a really morbid thing, but it was fucking sick. Like, dude, I need NECA to start making like chest pieces for like if they ever make like a Kane figure again, I need to have like chest burster Kane where like I can just like pull Kane like the chest burster out of like Kane's like fucking stomach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's not just something like Kenner would do like back in the day, because Kenner did some Kenner was like they didn't give a shit, this franchise was for adults. They were gonna sell these toys for kids anyways. I remember like the Kenner alien figures, they all had like a little like a different flavored color of chest burster, so you could get blue raspberry, strawberry, green apple, and they're just like I say that because they're just like different colored chest bursters with the different alien figures, like the mantis alien, the gorilla alien, and the queen facehugger. And I just like the idea of just different colored chest bursters, like you you get like chest burst and it's just like a bright red chest burster, and then your friend gets chest burst and he gets like a blue one. It's like, oh man, you got the blue one.
Nice. Yeah. But yeah, and the movie really did, yeah, as far as like that sort of like thematics go, like it pretty much adds like it pretty much brings like a lot more of like emotional heft when Ripley finds Newt and becomes like a has her maternal instincts essentially to protect Newt, and they both end up becoming like a mother daughter of sorts by the end because they both lost like Ripley lost her daughter because of the xenomorphs. So did Newt lost her entire family because of them as well. So
And nothing bad ever happened after that.
no. We don't talk. Yeah, that's nothing. That was happily ever after. They made it back. They made it back to Earth, and they with
By the way,
Jonesy.
I wanted to ask, have you ever made a stream on the first movie?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay, so will we make one on Alien 3 at some point?
Oh no.
I have no idea. I'd have to kind of get back. I don't know actually.
Yes, my favorite alien
that's my
movie.
favorite
Which one? Oh, for real?
Yeah, no, it's the one I like the most. I don't
From what I s-
Really?
Yeah, maybe it's an age thing, like I lived in a world where it was known that the thing in Aliens would end, like the family dynamic and all of that will like die. So maybe that's why it was easier for me to accept it. And I think that it wasn't the best choice, but I just like it. The hardest part for me is to get into the movie when the alien looks like shit. Like the effects.
Hey, the dog, the runner xenomorph is cool. He's pretty cool.
Well, the
also-
way the
the suit
execution
is,
of the
but
effect for it, I think.
Oh,
yeah,
the
no,
suit.
it's
Okay.
yeah, it's too distracting at points where even I cannot. And I like
Wait, are you talking about the puppet they used,
The
like the
puppet.
wide shots? Oh,
Yeah,
the
the
puppet.
puppet.
Because I was about to say the actual suit looks really good, but yeah, the
Yeah,
puppet.
no, that looks good, but I'm
definitely
talking about
aged
the
a little.
puppet. Like whenever
Yeah,
whenever
yeah.
he's moving too much, they use the puppet in
Yeah.
the chase sequences. It just happens so much, it's ridiculous.
It just looks
So-
really
Yeah.
weird. Yeah.
For a
So-
while, I pretty much kind of when I so and we'll again we'll be getting back to aliens, but like when I saw some of those shots in Alien 3, and it was only the theatrical version that I've seen of Alien 3, and it was years ago, a decade ago. I pretty much thought it was CGI. Because I was just like that just looks way too uncanny for it to not be CGI. And then when I found out, it was a puppet that they put on put in front of some kind of screen,
Blue
and they
screen.
just sort of like put it on there, and it's like, okay, wow,
Yeah.
somehow doesn't look any, but and yet it could have fooled me.
It's
man.
funny because if we're gonna talk about the effects of the films, we can actually segue to Aliens with the
Yes.
Queen. Because the Queen, the amount of work they did into putting the Queen together and getting her to like life is just like insane. Like it was operated by like
remarkable.
3 dudes. It was basically just like a giant puppet. And like if you've seen the behind the scenes, you just have like these like 2 dudes strapped sideways. And they have to puppet like each arm, and there's like a whole ass crane. But like just seeing the giant alien queen like life size next to the people, it makes me really want the Hot Toys queen because I've got the NECA one, but I really want the Hot Toys one too. I love the alien queen so much.
Yeah, the design for Alien Queen is just like immaculate.
Also, like you don't need to explain why you want the Hot Toys. Like, yeah, you want an upgrade. The NECA one looks bad in comparison.
The NECA one's good. I like it. It's just the wrong colors because she's meant to be like a darker ocean blue and not like the light baby blue they gave her for some reason. But then the Hot
Yeah.
Toys one also misses the bronze accents that she's meant to have. So like no one can get it right.
Yeah,
Mm.
just the fact that the movie was able this film was able to, for the most part, like maybe like some shots, like maybe like like the ship, like the drop ship, like sort of like flying some shots, there kind of like look kind of dodgy at times, but that's mainly just an age thing, I suppose you could say. But for the most part, like the movie looks incredible, like it's pretty much no wonder like this film pretty much more than cemented James Cameron as like a cinematic force to be
The
reckoned
Blue
with. I mean, like
Man.
the Terminator helped him sort of like helped him like cement his position in in terms of like making a movie, but Aliens really just skyrocketed him to
Aliens
him.
I
cemented James
cannot believe
Cameron
you're
as the Blue
ignoring.
Man.
I cannot believe you're ignoring Piranha. The greatest masterpiece.
Piranha was like a starting point. Like it's a start.
Well, we gotta
He
keep up the
peaked at the
agenda.
first movie. See, like we're not
we,
acknowledging that he peaked on the first movie.
I
we
thought he
gotta
did the
keep up the
second. I thought he
agenda.
only did the sequel.
All the scenes in Alien look better than anything from Heisei. We gotta keep up the agenda.
No,
Oh,
yeah, I will. Yeah, that absolutely. I can pretty
The
much.
Queen is more impressive than any of the Heisei kaiju, aside from like maybe Biolante. And I will legit fight people on this. The Queen like puppets are just so impressive. And the
Yeah,
use of
she looks.
miniatures, like how like effortlessly they blended in with like the final fight with the power loader. It's like something to just marvel at from just like a filmmaking perspective.
You could just I have to imagine somebody like must have like put like the Pacific Rim theme to that scene. It's like because like it's basically a mech. It's like it might like a bit of a in a way you could
yeah. No,
argue that
it
it's like
is
a
a
mecha
mech
versus
versus.
kaiju fight almost at the end, except it's not they're not
And
gigantic
it's
or
better than
anything, but
most
they're
kaiju fights.
I mean well yeah
I
yeah
mean,
I mean
to be fair, like it's not bad, but it is definitely limited by the time, because let's just be honest, the Queen from AVP will have ripped Ripley to shreds. So it depends a little bit on the limitations of the time. There were things
Mm,
that the Queen Alien wouldn't have been able to do that maybe she should have. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, I can understand that, but also we need to keep the agenda alive and steady. So, but,
No,
yeah.
but it's
What?
definitely better than any, like, yeah, no, that is true. Like it's better than like the
it,
Heisei fights, and the movement is way more fluid in every
Yeah,
single fucking way that you could imagine
and
than anything that
the
Toho did
miniatures
with
look good.
Biolante.
Yeah, the miniatures actually look good on like most of the miniatures, like the miniature like Puppet Kaiju and like the Showa era. We have like geeked out Rodan, Bloodshot, Isaac Godzilla.
There is one
Isn't it
scene
beautiful?
in that fight when she's about to fall, and we see those miniature versions of them that I do think it
Uh,
doesn't look all too great, but
it's the one where like she opens the airlock and like we have like the scene of like the two
yeah,
of them falling into. Yeah, okay, yeah, I know which scene you're talking about. Yeah, it definitely do look like
with
miniatures.
shot.
Mm.
Yeah.
I would say like even though it's like still a great like final scene essentially because it's kind of like because it's kind of like similar to the first movie in a way where like the xenomorph was able to like the main xenomorph thing was able to sort of like sneak into a ship. Oh, we just lost Serena. Um, able to sneak into a ship for like one last sort of like oh shit we need to eject this motherfucker out the airlock thing. Um, there is like I would say like there's like when Ripley's like hanging from the ladder trying to climb up there while like the turbulence of like the suction from like out in the vacuum is kind of going on. I will say it's kind of plot armory a bit.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we I think how it should have ended even made like a skit on that one.
Yeah, where like her arm like breaks off and she just falls into the vacuum of
Yeah, like when
space.
her even trying to climb would just be like like, it would just be such a even just trying to climb up the ladder is a bit would cause her to be sucked out. Like, why is
Unless,
Jonesy crying in the background?
I
Oh,
kidnapped
Edie.
it.
Oh,
So the
no.
thing is, like, one argument you could do would be like a steel manning, like terrible defense. Is that we don't know how heavy the aliens are. Maybe they're like stupidly light.
We
But
actually
even
do. That's the
then,
funny thing. I'm pretty sure we do actually know how heavy the queen is.
oh really?
The alien.
Jones is asking
What?
you. Okay,
Yeah,
give
Jones
me
is
the
asking.
answer.
The alien queen, her weight is either between 2 tons to 10 tons. Oh, depending on whether or not she's like attached to the egg sac. So like if she's not attached, I imagine she would weigh like around like 2 tons, while if she's attached to the egg sac, she would weigh around like 10 tons. At
Yeah,
least
well,
that's
I mean,
what
like she well by the
the
point
wiki says.
by that point in the movie with the power loader and the back and ejecting her out the airlock, she's without the egg sac. So
Yeah, so she's probably around like 2 tons, maybe 3 tons. But then again, even if she isn't like, even if the alien like isn't that heavy, naturally I think she would just be very heavy because of the nature of like what she is. You know, just a giant alien creature that's also an exoskeleton.
Yeah.
Um,
I want to address
yeah.
real quick. Alien Romulus opens the door to the alien queen still being alive in space. Romulus takes place between Alien and Aliens, Vic. Try again.
No, but the idea, like he's right.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
in principle,
they
it
would
means.
with what they did with Big Chap, they probably would do that with the Queen. Which like I don't even mind the idea that Big Chap is just like fucking and like ridiculously insane to kill. But then Aliens just comes in and is like, oh yeah, they can just be gunned down with ease of guns, and it's like the alien should be bulletproof. Like it should like you need to like go for like if it's gonna be the
No,
perfect
no.
organism, it
Well,
needs
I
to.
don't
I mean,
think so.
alien.
I
Well,
don't
I mean,
think
an
so.
alien getting killed by guns wouldn't necessarily equal to them like, oh, they shouldn't be able to survive in space. Like, I don't think
Oh no,
those
like
two
Also,
are.
Big Chap
like,
gets like
there's a limit
blasted by
to
it.
how much I can believe that something is bulletproof when it's human-sized. I do not believe that they should survive a smart gun, for example.
Yeah, I mean, like the alien queen could be could certainly be argued as more resilient on that front, and even then, like she's still like there's like a moment where we see like her bleeding, which hit during right before she stabs Bishop. So
I don't remember the Queen bleeding in Aliens at all. Actually,
it's like right after they escape the planet and they're in the Sulaco. The alien queen's like position, like her being able to sneak into that drop ship, is given away by some blood, some blood of hers sort of like dripping down.
I would have to go watch the scene again, because that
Well,
sounds interesting. But
well, I mean, I just watched the movie like an hour
okay,
ago, so
sorry,
it's
yeah,
right. I can
okay.
pull it right there.
But what I meant about like the Queen, like the alien, like being being resilient, like really resilient, is like if Big Chap can like survive getting like turbo thrusted by the engine's thrusters on the hold on
Yeah, on the skateboard.
the Narcissus, the Narcissus, yeah. She blasts Big Chap with the engines of it, and yet he's like still somehow alive. What I mean by like I want like the aliens to be more like the aliens from like Alien Isolation, when like you can like shoot with a pistol which just does nothing to it. Like I feel like there's like a limit to like what they can take. Like I don't think the Xenomorph should be walking off like like a rocket launcher shot, but like with like an assault rifle, I think they should be able to like tank that pretty easily. But if it's like a heavy enough caliber bullet, or like like a really powerful weapon, like I don't know, like a rocket launch, like a RPG, then yeah, I can the alien should like be damaged by that. But like regular gunfire, I think they should be able to like walk that off and tank it off pretty easily. This was just more of a personal preference thing.
Yeah, I mean, if that's, I mean, I guess.
The thing is what you define as regular gunfire, because I wouldn't define anything military in the future as regular gunfire.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point. No, that's
Yeah.
shit. I'm like gun illiterate. In the UK where we have like we have like different caliber of knives. The Americans have their guns. So like I'm gun illiterate. I don't know like how powerful each gun is. I know like a 50 cal is like really powerful.
But the film
Aside
even
from that,
like
like
has it
I
to
got
where
no clue.
the film pretty much even like has established that like the pulse rifles and what have you, they're like they're
Yeah.
like a caliber. It's like such a powerful type of gun essentially that like they even pretty much say like they even make a point of like that when they go down to the terraforming plant. It's like it's like a fusion reactor type of thing where if they set up if there's like explosions kind of going off, like they could potentially blow up the plant, and kill her and everyone dies essentially. And so that's why they pretty much had Frost to like carry their pulse rifle ammo, which they eventually lose when Frost gets set on fire and dies, and then in the bag with the ammunition and explosives, also on fire, it explodes as well when they get jumped by the warriors. Which like the movie does, the movie definitely does like a really great job at like essentially like setting something up. For like a potential set piece, like certain variables to account for. Like, it's like, why would they use these guns? It's like, well, because of this thing, because of this like sort of like world building thing about how the terraforming facility kind of works essentially. So they can't really, they can't risk it. And then they lose that ammunition, because the attack that the surprise attack by the xenomorphs, where they all get jumped and and it's like a massacre, and so they're like very limited on resources later on in the film. And it certainly doesn't help when their drop ship, which has a xenomorph, like gets sneak on there, gets taken out, goes out of commission. Well, gets kind of crashes and is like just gone. And they try to like scrounge up whatever resources ammunition and resources they could from the wreckage.
It's game over, man. Game over. Oh, hey,
Game over, man.
So, what are your guys' like favorite character from the film?
That's a good question, actually.
I think it would be the moron.
Hudson?
Like he had no, not Hudson. The guy that literally kills them all, that gets them all killed.
Which one?
Burke, the business guy.
No.
He's thinking about. You mean a Marine?
Yeah. The strategist that is literally incredibly incompetent. Him and Vasquez together are my two favorite, just because of how she represents that side that actually holds him accountable, and she like is willing to kill him after he fucked up so bad. But then at the end they die together. I think.
Gorman.
Gorman. Gorman. Because it's like, it's not really his fault.
He was just kind of locked in, like he was basically just catatonic in a way. We're just like they're all getting overwhelmed, and he's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's like imagine you're playing chess with an AI, and the AI just fucking destroys you. Like you don't know how to react. But the problem is you don't have to make a move. Like the AI can make as many moves as it wants, and you're just looking at the screen like, oh, like I get it. He shouldn't have been there. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
And even from the beginning, he can already probably feel the pressure, because they ask him, hey, how many combats have you been? 1. Well, 2. With 1 simulation.
Including this one.
Yeah. And he can already like tell that people are like, holy fuck, so he has already like all of this pressure to prove himself, and then everything just goes to shit, and then you have Ripley screaming. I mean, not screaming
do something
first. Yeah. Like it's not really his fault. Honestly.
No, not really. Like the thing is, like it's one of those things where it wasn't really anybody's fault. They didn't even know what they were getting themselves into, really.
Yeah, because no one
I
paid
mean,
attention to
Ripley
Ripley actually. Like, no
Ripley
one
kind of
listened to
is
her,
pretty much the most who understands it the most out of everybody. Which
and they
kind of
ignore her.
yeah, and they just
Yeah.
she's treated as nothing more than like an advisor, and even then, they don't really
Yeah.
take her that
Yeah.
seriously.
I mean,
Yeah, they're
the company
very
treats
cocky.
her as an advisor, but the military,
And Newt
like
is
the
pretty much
Marines, treat
Newt's
her
pretty
as
much
crazy.
just a kid, and so
Yeah.
it's not like that. So it's not like they would take her seriously either. If she were, plus she was very quiet for a good chunk of that time.
For me, I obviously like Ripley. You know, she's a great character.
Yeah.
I think Hicks is very cool. I really like Hicks. You know, like
Oh,
RP
yeah.
my goat. But I really like Bishop. I just really like I really like
Wait,
like
Michael Biehn
the-
died?
wait, what?
I mean,
Yeah,
some time
yeah.
ago.
No, you're talking about. Weren't you thinking about Bill Paxton, who plays Hudson? Bill Paxton played Hudson. He was the guy who yells "Game over, man! Game over."
He's the one that gets
Are
killed
you-
by everyone. Terminator. I
Well,
think.
Wait.
no. Michael Biehn was in Terminator. Michael Biehn was Kyle
Okay.
Reese in Terminator. Bill Paxton is Hudson, the funny guy.
Okay.
Yeah, Hicks is
The ultimate badasses, dude.
Yeah, Hicks is the guy who teaches Ripley how to use the pulse rifle later.
He's when I said RP my goat, I mean like in Alien 3 because he's killed off in the beginning.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, sorry, I was a bit confused for a second. But Hicks, you get fucking killed in Alien 3. But I like Burke, and the reason I like Burke is because a large part of the Alien franchise I've really enjoyed is just Weyland-Yutani and the politics of the franchise. Like it's all well and fun, just about the alien, like what they're kind of doing the alien. But also like just knowing what they're doing outside of that, like the wider political scape of the alien universe that's out there that kind of Burke is kind of represents in a way. I find fascinating. Is why in Alien Earth, I really like the scenes of the world building establishing the different companies like Prodigy, Weyland-Yutani, and the different companies that are out there. The issue is Alien Earth is too busy trying to be How to Train Your Xenomorph and not an actual in-depth study on the world that Alien inhabits. We're too busy focusing on fucking how to train the Xenomorph training it.
For the record, I still haven't seen Alien Earth, and I'm not sure if I'm that interested.
Don't. Just watch the 1st and 5th episode. They're the only ones worth watching. Yes, Lam, what's up?
Here's the thing: if you tell me to do that, then I would watch the whole season anyway. So it's just I don't know. So it's maybe it's either I do the whole thing or I just don't do it at all. It's one or the other. I can't.
Lau, what were you saying?
If you want to know more about world building, you really have to get to the thing I told you about. Charybdis in specific.
Alien
Charybdis
Cold
in specific is the most political.
And then there's also Alien Phalanx. Yeah, Phalanx. Yeah, I need to get a. I know. I think all three of them. I know Cold Forges. I think all three of them are on Audible, so I'll just listen to them because I enjoy audiobooks, and I really want to get more into the literature of the franchise because I mainly just gonna stick to I've mainly just been more into the movies and games, and I've dipped a little bit into this wider literature, and also the comics. I really like the comic stuff, so I really want to get more into them. Get back on my Alien high because I love this franchise.
Yeah, the world building aspect, especially when you get into late, especially when you get into the whole Weyland-Yutani stuff, is it really lends to because the fact is they are just you for example, in the first movie, you had Ash, who was given this secret mission from the company to bring back this specimen from LV-426, and the crew was expendable. But during during the scene where in the second film where Ripley kind of is grilled by the board, essentially. They're just sort of denying it. Essentially, they're just what is so you expect us to believe that? Blah 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 blah. It's yeah, because you're the motherfuckers who sent Ash down. To even get this, who even had this happen. You did it. They're just denying it. All the way through. And Burke and Burke kind of is sort of like a personification of that, essentially. Who you would think, he has like other people's best interests, really, but when you get right down to it, but then when the chips are down, yeah, you kind of realize how full of shit he actually is.
I like
The
to
thing
think the
is-
reason. Oh, sorry, Lau.
I don't know. You go first.
I was gonna say I like the idea that like because Ripley didn't come back with the xenomorph and therefore she kind of failed the entire the point of order. I think it's 556 to like retrieve the xenomorph. The reason they don't believe her is because she didn't bring back the xenomorph and therefore they just want to deny it, because if she brought back the xenomorph they'd be like great, fuck off. But hold on, let me phrase my point. The fact that what happened in Alien, the fact that it happened the way it happened, they kind of just like want to distance themselves away from all of that.
Yeah,
They're
they
going,
want to.
no. What are you talking
concerning the
about?
fact
There's no
that she-
alien.
Yeah, the fact that company property, like the Nostromo, was actually destroyed as a result of her trying to kill the xenomorph. Like they pretty much, it's like they kind of know that she sabotaged them by doing that and set them back.
We blew that shit up.
Yeah.
What I think could have happened is that these specific people have legit no idea what she's talking about. They're just some part of the administrative system.
Well,
that
maybe
has
those
no
particular people, maybe
knowledge.
those people in particular,
Yeah, yeah, because it's been 50 something years. Like maybe everyone that was aware of the thing is dead by now. I think that's possible.
Or maybe it's more like in company, like there's different tiers of like clearance or
Yeah,
like
that's
how
what I
much
mean.
information
Yeah,
people
no,
know.
that's what I
Okay,
mean.
yeah.
Because like I don't think anyone knew that Wayland was still alive in the Prometheus thing. He was apparently a secret to everyone.
Yeah, he was. No one knew that Wayland was alive.
that was kind of the thing. That was like the reveal there in that movie.
Yeah, bad makeup.
Guy
Wayland.
Pearson, terrible in like Palpatine knockoff Palpatine makeup.
Guys,
Which-
did you?
I can't believe they did that.
Film. It's such a funny film because I remember when Covenant came out, people were trying to do like Prometheus revisionism, and they were going, "This frame of Prometheus is like the engine just like looking at like David, and it's like this frame from Prometheus is so terrifying. Why is God confused? Well, I don't know why he's confused. He just woke the fuck up and he's like, what the fuck are these guys doing here? Like it's really funny when people try to like ascribe the Prometheus as like this super like thought-provoking film. And then you just like watch Prometheus and it's like, man, all the stuff about Prometheus is so much more fun than the actual film. Like all the concept art is like the concept art, the initial ideas, the original like ideas he had from the movie in general, like Alien Engineers, like the original plan for it, so much more interesting than like what we actually ended up getting.
Yeah,
I wanted to. I wanted
Prometheus
to see.
kind of seemed
yeah.
like Prometheus really seemed like it was teetering on just like trying to do something interesting, and then
A lot
it
of
just
it
kind of just falls. It just falls apart essentially.
A lot of it was company meddling, I believe, from 20th Century Fox, and also Ripley and the
Ridley!
scriptwriter Willis Ridley from Metroid. Ridley from Metroid, that fuck ass franchise that Kuru likes, the fucking horse lover. Ridley. I imagine that Ridley and Willis O'Brien, I think that was the guy who wrote Prometheus, had a lot of to do with like
No, that's Willis O'Brien. What the fuck? Okay, hold on.
I'm gonna
You're
kill
fucking
myself.
with me right now. Okay, this is not that. No way. No, Willis O'Brien. You're like. Okay, hold on. Let me.
Hold on. I got it wrong. Hold on. I'm sorry. I thought it was. I'm not even gonna say that name's like Damon Lindelof and
Damon
John
Lindelof.
Jane. Fuck you.
Okay. Here, let me. All right, let me. All right, here. Let me do it. I got
Don't
this.
make fun of the British with like bad speech. All right, that's very mean. Actually, people make fun of the British all the time. I'm glad I'm not French though. In that case.
All right. Damon Lindelof and John Spate. Okay, we'll admit the last name for the other guy is pretty much a little weird, but John Spates, who wrote the first two Denis Villeneuve Dune movies, and I think he also co-wrote the first Doctor Strange movie. I think, yeah.
I don't know where I got the idea that David Lindelof, however the fuck you say his stupid name,
Damon
Damon.
Lindelof.
I don't know where I got the idea the other guy wrote Prometheus. I'm not even gonna dignify what I said before. But yeah, I imagine a lot because I do think a lot of the reason why Alien Engineers was changed to Prometheus and was more focused on the engineers was because of 20th Century Fox, and they wanted to pivot to more to do with the engineers. And I also imagine that Ridley Scott. I said it right this time. Ridley Scott had a lot to do with it too, because very egocentric man.
I mean,
Yeah.
you notice how we keep going to Prometheus, right? Like it kind of stained the franchise permanently, which sucks because it
Yeah.
retroactively just like you cannot watch Aliens without knowing that somewhere there's handsome Squidward people
Well, I mean,
just like
you can. I mean, like I was watching Aliens, today, and I never thought about Prometheus while I was watching it. I was just like watching it
I
as
think about Prometheus a lot because I have a love-hate relationship with the prequels. It's like an abusive relationship, but like she never promises to change. I just like the beatings.
the thing is that now in the timeline between Alien and Aliens, you do have Romulus, which is like
Yeah.
more of an insistent, constant reminder that hey, there's this world outside. That's incredibly small, by the way, because now it's all related to humans. It's all about us. We're the only thing that exists. Apparently, like there's nothing else. It's all about us. It's disgustingly stupid.
guys are doing the topless joke from 98. No, we're not, Rick. PB Poopolopolis. No,
Guys, did you know that there is an Easter egg in Alien 3 where a 98 statue appears? That's not true, by the way. I just wanted to mention 98. Well, actually, Resurrection's a 98 reference because it was made by a French person, so,
yeah.
that's why it's the most morally correct film in the franchise.
I don't know about that.
But yeah, it's sad what a Covenant and Prometheus did. That you could honestly, I feel like to an extent, like you could probably just like cut them from canon, like not much would change because the black goo. I know Cold Forge sets this up, and then Romulus expands on it. The black goo just coming from the facehuggers is so much cooler than it just being like this like random thing the engineers have that David experiments with.
yeah.
It's the black goo is like a concept artist's worst nightmare because usually with these kind of things you want like an established aesthetic for like each thing, but the black goo just makes it whatever it wants.
Yeah, it's
It
kind of
just yeah.
yeah, I mean,
It
it pretty much makes whatever it wants. The only thing, I mean, the only like common denominator as far as that goes is pretty much like it's sort of like it pretty much reorganizes, reformats, or alters the DNA of whatever it is,
Mhm.
whatever being that it's sort of that sort of takes
I
it in.
will I'll retract what I previously said. It's not like concept artist's worst nightmare, it's like a script writer's worst nightmare because how do you like
Script
logically
writers
give
and
rules
that
to
kind
this
of thing.
thing?
You're like concept
It
artists.
Yeah, so I just had concept art on the mind because of the concept art for the films. But like, I really wish like if they do, I really wish it was established that the black goo just kind of makes things look more xenomorph like, and then you could follow through that with like, it's the stuff that comes out from the face huggers, because then you can actually have like an established aesthetic as to why every like the black goo like what it creates and like what it can and can't do. But back to the actually good film,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
I like that. I really like the I think it's interesting in Aliens that like they use the same planet again, but it doesn't feel like it's redundant, because
No,
like usually, yeah, like
it's
it
like
feels very fresh. I think it's because also it's like a new setting where like in the first film you saw so little of LV-46.
LB-46. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Ye-
then like in Aliens you get to see much more of it, but you also get to see it from like a completely different angle.
Yeah. Yeah, I just love honestly, I really just love the aesthetic of the movie, like
Yeah.
this retro futuristic sort of thing that's got going
Yeah,
on.
Aliens leans into like the franchise is at its best and it really leans into that like retro future aesthetic. It's part of the reason why I like Romulus so much from like a aesthetic reason because it just captures that pretty well. And so does
Yeah.
Isolation.
Yeah,
Which-
yeah, Isolation. It had like, like it just pretty much just replicating it to a T. It's like,
well,
damn.
Isolation was more replicating Alien, while Romulus is kind of going for like a mixture of both in a way, I believe. But it also taking
Yeah.
part from Isolation because it has like like it has like the safe checkpoint things in the background. I think that's a really cute little reference.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah, it's like you could even
it's-
say that's a bit of like a time, like
Mm.
I guess I guess you could say it's like one of those like fuck whatever fuck because I have like one of those things you have at a workplace. I'm blanking on the name because like I mean my workplace has those types of things. Not like an alien, obviously, but
like a telephone pole. Like
no, not a
telephone
telephone
box?
pole. It's more it's like something when you clock in and clock out of work.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. The
I am
Reggie.
I, I
Yeah,
am
I don't know
blank.
how to say it in English.
A register?
No, not a register. No. Fuck, I'm blanking on it. I don't know. I don't know.
Just Google it. Like a thing used to clock in and out of work. Like
Okay, all right, yeah. Just give me a moment. You guys talk about aliens shit while I look this thing up.
So, what do you like
I guess
more?
one.
Sorry, La.
No, you first.
I was just going to ask, what do we like more, the drones or the warriors from like a design perspective?
And I don't have like a favorite. I just you know what I would say the Warriors actually just because the drones are so overdone in merch and stuff like that, and that's all we've
A
gotten.
time clock. That's what.
Time clock.
Yeah, time clock.
What else was going to be a space clock?
Well, another example would have been like a key, like a time kiosk, time kiosk,
kiosk.
punch clock. Yeah, like maybe something more like a punch clock, but just sort of like more futuristic.
Yeah,
looking.
it's just time clock sounds so redundant. It's like, hey guys, I'm going outside.
Let's go. But
Hey guys, I'm
for
going
me,
inside.
I prefer the drone aesthetic. I just like the domed head and like the isolation design. I think like perfected it. I like the ridged head, but I don't like it as much as the domed one. I think the domed one just has like an elegance to it that I really like. While the ridged head feels more like aggressive, which I think the domed head just looks more like it fits that kind of like weirdly beautiful but also terrifying thing the alien like was kind of going for with his design.
Yeah.
And I think that just fits it better.
Yeah, I pretty much do like. Yeah, I mean, like as iconic as Big Chap is, as far as like the design wise, I think like a big selling point for me, like for like the isolation version of Xenomorph, and as well as like the Xenomorph design for Romulus, like you say as examples, sort of like the feet essentially, because Big Chap's feet are just kind of like it was kind of a limitation that they had to work with, but they had like the feet just be more humanoid like, whereas like in later iterations, he's kind of like more like the feet are smaller, essentially. It actually makes it look like slimmer, essentially, in that front. I really dig. I mean, I kind of really dig that sort of look for the Xeno.
I'm not a feed guy, so that's not like the most important thing.
No,
But
no, I'm not saying it's that important. It's just a detail that it's
I'm
just like
joking.
I
I'm
kind of
joking. I'm
prefer.
joking.
It's no, it's fine.
Yeah, no, I like that they have that connection to the queen. It just feels more natural because it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so if the queen makes this, then why do they look? I guess you could say because they come from humans, right? But even then, but still, I would say like it should feel more connected to the queen. And the problem is that when you have the domed ones, they don't feel like they are too related, let's say.
I don't, because like the domed
In
ones have
comparison
like
to the warriors, I feel like the warriors
uh
are more related to the queen.
because like for me like the queen has like the stripes on her head, and like the drones also have like those stripes on their head and like their bodies. Or I don't think the warrior has those stripes, so I think that's kind of like
Uh,
connects
the,
them
the
more in my
the
mind.
drones don't have stripes, at least.
No,
The,
they do have like stripes on their bodies, but they're like really faint. You just like I'm pretty sure they do.
almost. Are you saying that because of the NECA figure only? Because I don't think that the NECA figure
No,
is like super accurate on that.
no, not the NECA figure. I'm talking about the Hot Toys figure, because the Hot Toys ones like they're meant to be like as accurate as possible. Like the new Hot Toys Big Chat one like literally has like I think like the zipper for the suit for the drone xenomorph.
Oh, really? Okay, wait.
Yeah,
Can we pull that up?
yeah. I'll send it to you. Hot Toys Big Chap.
I didn't
The
even.
2.0.
Yeah, like I
Absolutely.
knew that they were making a 2.0, but I didn't know that they had the zipper for this.
I think I heard it. I can't like pinpoint it exactly, but I just know it is there. Like there is like something to do with the suit on the 2.0. Fuck. Hold on, because I know it has like it has something like I think it is the zipper, which if it is like this case, that is like hilarious. Hold
Zipper.
on.
Okay, so when I look for that, by the way, I'm probably going to get like exiled from the fucking call because for some reason StreamYard thinks that I don't have the right to leave the browser. And if I leave, then I might as well just leave forever. So when I look into that, I'll probably disappear from the call. Okay, so
Yeah.
2.0. Oh, yeah, no, I hadn't seen this. I'd seen their latest, I think, Warrior. I think that they released an Alien Warrior 2.0 or 3.0, even before this one. Shit, this looks good. I don't know if it looks super accurate to the movie necessarily, but
Sorry about that. I disconnected for some reason.
Alright, fine.
yeah, okay, so literally the same thing that will happen to me happened to her because she dare leave the StreamYard.
I was trying to find the video that was talking about like analyzing the Hot Toys figure, and like mentioned the zipper, or it had to do. I think it was either the zipper or like an imperfection the suit had that the Hot Toys figure contains. But to I guess arch back to my point. I can definitely understand that the warriors kind of have the more homogenous with the queen, because like the ridged head. I do
Yeah.
think those drones like equally fine, like next to the queen. If I just had a figure of like the drone, it's just the NECA one's really expensive, and like I'm not willing to do that gamble.
Well, that's because it's like kind of
Yeah.
in the aftermarket now.
Yeah, I'll just wait till Isolation 2 comes out and they make like the 18,000th big chat figure with like the new legs, and just pick up one of those. That poor big chat mode is just getting like absolutely like just desecrated by NECA, so they came in like 3 different big chaps.
Yeah. I do want to get a hold of like at least a version of Big Chap at some point from NECA.
Oh no,
whether it's, like,
Lau just oh no,
Lao
Lau.
died. No.
Lau, no.
Yeah, I do want to get a hold of but anyways, while Lao tries to come back from the depths of hell, yeah, I do want to try to get a hold of a version of Big Chap from NECA, whether it's like whether it's like that what do you call it, like the ultimate sets that comes with like the
ultimate.
egg and the face hugger and all that stuff.
Those are
I probably
cool.
want to try to get that because like I don't know if because like maybe
But
or or
I
failing that, then even just even like the version that came out for
Yeah.
Romulus. I
see.
suppose.
Well, no, I don't like the Romulus big chap. The Romulus Warrior looks fine, like it looks pretty good. The Romulus Big Chap
Gorgeous.
looks really fucking weird. Like it's got like a really weird head.
Yeah, I would say I
yeah.
love like the the xenomorph design for
Design of Romulus.
Romulus, pretty much. Yeah, it looks.
I like it, but I think it's inferior to like the original Big Chap design and like the isolation design.
That's
He's
fair.
back.
Yeah, I brought him back.
Let's go. We also got like killed by StreamYard.
But
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, if you really want the eggs from NECA, just buy the egg cartons because you get more of them, and I think they'll probably just be cheaper than just like actually getting the ultimate Big Chap. Especially considering I
this
think
point,
Wow, he's had some
I
like,
doubt
really
it.
shit experience.
I doubt they will be cheaper because of how old they are and how they have not been re-released. So
that's kind of
That's
the
weird
thing.
because they've re-released the Queen like 3 times, but they're not gonna re-release it the eggs. That seems a bit like
Yeah, I know.
strange.
Lame, but
yeah,
But
no,
anyway,
NECA sucks.
Yeah. yeah. But Lau,
Yeah,
you were saying something before we got on this like tangent about the design that I caused.
I
Sorry
forgot.
about that.
If I was saying something,
Oh.
I forgot.
Sorry, buddy.
No, it's fine.
I think we were talking about like the look of the movie, like the design of like
Oh yeah,
the retrofuturistics of the design,
The
as well as
aesthetic,
like the military,
yeah.
the aesthetic, and as well as the fact that we are in this film, we obviously get introduced to the militaristic aspect of the aesthetic.
I always think
So-
that 90s kind of retro future just works so well for the alien, and I think the more like hype contemporary futuristic look, the stuff like the prequels go for, just doesn't look very good with like the alien franchise.
yeah,
Just,
no,
like,
it's just not.
it just doesn't feel right. Like Aliens, like the old 90s art you see for old like nerd franchise, like like Alien, Terminator, Star Wars, like those like really old oil paintings that people would do for those franchises.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. You could
That's the kind of aesthetic I think that Alien does super well. That like retro
I mean, someone could
look.
technically argue that like the Prometheus aesthetic pretty much is meant to be like, this thing like came directly from Wayland Yutani, so maybe they like have like it looks fancier than like the trucker freighter type like Nostromo or the militaristic Sulaco and all that stuff. But even then, it's like.
Yeah, the
I don't
aesthetic is
know.
completely different. Like
Yeah.
back in the 70s or 80s, yeah, like you had elegant, quote unquote, like fancy cars, but they were still really fucking square. They weren't roundy and curvy like today because the aesthetic was just of the time.
It's just
So
kind
it
of like
makes no sense.
yeah, it's just
in
kind of like
Prometheus.
why it's kind of like when people just talk about like, man, you don't like it's like, man, I really wish like some of these like you don't have like how do I put this like there's like a strong attention to detail as far as like you get these first 2 movies, like all the like the parts and what have you, the pipes and what have you, like it looks like kind of like a place that you don't necessarily want to spend all day in, but it's like it's like it's not flashy really.
A lot of
It's
it,
kind of-
yeah, a lot of it's bit down to the fact that a lot of these like sets and like things like the Nostromo, the Sulaco, they're built by hand. Like even like the ships like themselves, they're built by like hand, so they have like the more intentionality to them. These
Yeah.
days, studios don't care as much. They just kind of want to pump out product and like make money. So they're like, oh, just do like nowadays we have like tools to replicate some of that, but you kind of lose the like intentionality that these old franchises had to like their designs. Which like I think it's a alright payoff when like you're able to recreate that aesthetic really well, like how Romulus does it. But then when you get stuff like Prometheus and the Covenant, it's like it feels like a whole different franchise.
Yeah, like Romulus, like at least Romulus kind of like had a thing where the interior of the Remus and Romulus station, it's like it's a little clean, pretty much, kind of, but not like
it's the Renaissance station. It has 2 sections, the Remus and Romulus station section.
yeah,
But
Remus
the
and
station
Romulus.
is called the Renaissance station.
Yeah, well, I'm just talking about like the interior design of like.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The research,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of consistent with it's pretty kind of consistent with like I guess the research lab look that we get in Aliens, essentially, where it is like a
Yeah,
little more
or Alien.
a little more white and more sleek, essentially, but not like
Yeah.
but not too much. So yeah, it's kind of like a marriage between the two aesthetics of the first movie and the second, the first two movies. But
And I really like how the alien hive looks. I think it's just beautiful. It's such
yeah,
like an interesting set piece for like because you don't really get that in a lot of like a lot of these like more like mainstay franchises. Like these like creature things. Like it's very unique to the alien. Like the predators don't really have that. Dinosaurs obviously you can't really do that. Kaiju you don't really see like hives in kaiju media because it's just the nature of it. So the alien hive has
Right.
always just stuck out, like stood the
Yeah.
test of time. And
Yeah,
there's a
and
reason
the
it just comes back
build-up.
in like pretty much every film except for like the prequels.
Yeah,
What
the
do you mean?
atmosphere
Destroyer
built-
had a hive scene? Don't you know that the aliens ripped it off?
Yeah, no, Destroyer ripped off
It's
Aliens.
I know,
heisei,
I'm
so it's
joking.
automatically bad.
Yeah,
And I hate-
mean
and
that's
I
kind of a
hate
point that I
Destroyer.
made in my
Yeah.
essay video on Godzilla versus Destroyer, where like as a scene in isolation, like it's not like like that sequence isn't terrible, but it is one of those things where you can't unthink just how much better Alien does it in
Typical
every way,
heisei.
in every
Typical
conceivable
Godzilla
way.
heisei. Taking from better franchises. Yeah, Back to the Future of Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, and now we
Well,
have
Terminator
Aliens.
as well.
And
Well, I mean,
Terminator.
Back to the Future and Terminator.
Yeah, and Terminator. Yeah, but one to James Cameron film, and with Destroyer versus Destroyer, it's another James Cameron film. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah,
Typical
pretty much.
heisei.
Yeah.
But like
But,
the Alien Hive has always been like really unique to like that franchise, and I just really like the aesthetic of it, and I
Yeah.
like how the Xenomorph's design is able to lend itself to like perfect camouflage. Where you can just have like an alien just hiding.
Oh yeah,
in-
absolutely.
It's terrifying and it's great.
Yeah, and the fact that it just the build up and the atmosphere where they're going through the colony, just like essentially like before, like and then they meeting Newt, and then they see all the signatures at the terraforming plant, and they pretty much go there, and you got all this build up to like it's to all start where the walls and the settings start looking more and more alien like, essentially.
Yeah.
To where until they get to we get to the xenomorphs come out. And
Yeah,
like,
there's this like thing with like old films around this time, like Star Wars and this, where they always have like, especially with Aliens, they have this really textured look to the camera. Like there's like a lot of like crisp detail that you just don't like get as much of like more modern films these days, where they feel much more sterilized and more like trying to like be perfected. So when you go back and like watch these old films, they just look beautiful, and then you go and like watch them like Wicked, and it's like it looks like shit. Why does it look like this?
Did you get
Why
like
does everything look like Netflix?
and not to
It's
mention
so
like
gray.
yeah, and like some of the sound design, especially when this place like starts melting down, where Ripley's like trying to go through to rescue Newt, it's going further and further, where you have like the steam like like blowing it, essentially, it makes the hissing sounds like a xenomorph, which makes perfect sense because like they were just there like not that long ago. And there was xenomorph in where the hive essentially is. So it's like what's that hissing sound? Is it the steam or is it the xenomorph? I don't know. Let's just shoot some flames out
like
just to be safe.
It's like an isolation where they just put like a bunch of random like curved tubes and things to make you think is that the xenomorph, but no, it's just like a pipe. It's really clever use of design in like both sound and like.
And then the xenomorph just comes
design.
up, and then the xenomorph shows up. It's like, oh hey, right here.
Yeah, and they did that in Alien 3 too.
Isolation is like probably one of the scariest games I've ever played. I need to play
have
it.
not
I
even
need to finish
finished
it.
Alien Isolation because the AI for the xenomorph is like I don't know how they did it. But it's like
dude,
that
the alien in Alien Isolation 2, they're gonna have the alien just like dox your IP address on Steam. It's gonna be great. the alien is gonna become. The alien's gonna like use your webcam, find out what race you are, and dictate what racial slurs to throw at you.
The xenomorph
Um,
the xenomorph just tracks your IP address and actually find your location.
it
just comes
just
to your
doxes
house.
you.
In Isolation 2, they are trying to develop a technology where the alien will be able to find your address, and then they're going to find your email and subscribe you to a bunch of gay magazines.
It'll just send you dick pics.
Yeah.
Or like the xenomorph in Alien Isolation 2, the xenomorph will just crawl out of your TV screen like fucking Samara in the ring.
It's like how Avatar's gonna get so advanced with his technology. I'm gonna be watching the next Avatar film with Jake Sully. He would just like crawl out of the. He'll just walk out the screen and just next to me. We're just gonna be watching the film together. As bros. It's gonna be great.
This is the part where my kid dies.
Yeah, we're watching Way of Water. Yo, dude, look at that bullet wound in the Taeyam's back. Ooh, that's a good one from Quaritch.
Yeah, look at
You know that wait, do we care about Brand New Day spoilers?
I've seen Brand New Day. Like honestly, I've seen Brand New Day. So
I
don't know
just
what
like.
else.
Do you guys care about like? Because do you guys care about like spoiling it? Because like we've all seen it here.
I mean,
don't
I
give-
do think we should also probably just stop the tangent anyway, in case
Yeah.
someone's in chat.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Actually,
But-
one thing I'd like to mention in Alien Covenant, there's a VR game that you can go play right now on YouTube where you get to be the Neomorph and burst at someone's back.
Ooh.
I just remembered
like
that.
the Neomorph actually.
Yeah, when it blows that guy's back out, literally.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
remember.
Yeah.
I
But,
do I
yeah.
would say like Covenant definitely like I really dig the body horror in Covenant. I will say it's
Yeah.
really nasty.
But back to the good film.
But yeah.
What do we think about like what do we think about like the colony world on LV-426? Because I think that's an interesting like thing they set up of like colony worlds, like just like on different planets.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of like it's like one of those things where you could kind of imagine like if we were to try to colonize another planet, it looks like kind of what it probably would look like. As well as just the fact that, as well as like just like that's the thing that the Alien franchise does really well. It's like not only does it seem believable from an aesthetic standpoint about what like colonization of other worlds would look like, but also like what space travel would be like. Essentially, like if you're in cryo sleep and you get out of it, it's just like it's not like one of those things of like, wow, that was a lovely sleep. It's more like, it's like, fucking hell. It's still, I feel like shit.
Also, Vic, it wasn't Infinity War. It wasn't Endgame. It was Infinity War, where Spider-Man references aliens. Though they make like I think they make an aliens reference with Hawkeye when he's like right away from the gorilla things, the fucking scary. I think they're called like Outriders or whatever the fuck. It's just
Well, Hawkeye
I really
wasn't
like the
even- he would. Yeah, there was
Yeah,
like a
Endgame.
something like that
Yeah,
in Endgame.
I really like the colony worlds and like it sets up that, and I also think it's a really cool. I really want to play a game where just like you're on a colony world and like there's an alien infestation. And, oh, we're gonna get that game. It's Alien Isolation 2.
Yeah. Well, there's even like also like before the Xenomorphs even show up, like we have like see a little bit of, like what life is like on LV-426 before shit hit the fan, where you have like some guys all like, just talk about how like it's like there's no point in like trying to get a hold of the company and ask them what's going on. They'll just be like, because like it takes 2 weeks to hear back, and if they do send it hear back from them, they'll just be like, why are you asking us that? Like, it's like that's like it seems kind of believable in a way. Like you get just people just like talking about like how like like we're like Whale Yutani is kind of a shitty company, even though they are all about building better worlds. Like, really?
Well, they put a better word from the aliens, that's for sure. Yeah, I would love to see like a game where it's just based on like the falling of Hadley's Hope, because I think that's such an interesting part of like the aliens lore, and also just generally I like the aesthetic of LV426. I like the idea that just no one like since like is it like established like they're trying to like make it that the air in LV426 is be able to like be breathable,
Yes.
which can actually cover a potential plot hole. Of how did they not find the derelict ship sooner? And you can just say like, oh well, they didn't realize it was that because they're too busy trying to try and make the air breathable to actually find there's this giant ship here, you know.
Yeah.
And it's funny because isolation actually is able to clear up a plot hole. And just like why did the transmission from the derelict ship stopped? Isolation clears it up. So that's something that nice isolation did. But also this film is probably like the film that does it the most, expanding on Weyland Yutani's interest in the xenomorph, because the first film sets it up, but this film like really hammers at him with like the facehuggers in the test tubes, Burke's whole thing, and
Yeah.
his interest in getting the xenomorphs.
Yeah,
Like
and how
it
far
definitely
he's willing
sets
to
up
go.
that.
Yeah, how far he's willing to go for the company, to just like get a specimen back for the company, essentially. Even like
Mhm.
even if it means like impregnating Ripley or even Newt, God forbid. Yeah, it's it's a whole thing of like where it's like, yeah, sure, the xenomorphs are like the main threat we need to worry about, but Weyland Yutani and Burke, being the microcosm of Weyland Yutani, is basically like are arguably worse because and Ripley, I mean, like Ripley kind of like states that it obviously like states it explicitly about how the xenomorph, you don't see the xenomorphs fuck each other over for a percentage, but it's like
Yeah.
it's pretty, but it's like very apparent. Like the xenomorphs are at least like they're pretty much instinct. Ultimately, it's like they hunt, they kill, they pretty much bring people back. They pretty much take whatever find whatever survivors possible to bring back to impregnate, and just sort of like for their queen, and just kind of like and just like go and just kind of carry on. That's pretty much it. Like they're pretty
I
straightforward on that front.
I do think there is one line in this film that is much better because of the director's cut of Alien, and that's when Newt gets kidnapped and Ripley's like, "They don't kill you right away. They don't kill you right away." That line makes much more sense when we take into account the egg morphing scene from Alien, than because from what Ripley's known, pretty much everyone like who has come into contact with the xenomorph has instantly died. You know Lambert. Shit, I'm blanking on the character's names. Fuck. Kane dies from the chest burster. Dallas gets
You're
killed in
thinking
the
of
vent.
Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah, Dallas. Yeah, and then Jonesy dude. He also gets like killed, but like they don't see him. So like the line makes much more sense in the context of the egg morphing scene than just like the egg morphing scene. It's why I think the egg morphing scene is probably one of the only like things that the director's cut does well, besides like the one scene where Lambert bitch slaps Ripley. That's a really good scene. I like that one. But aside from that, the director's cut of Alien is really bad. Like it's perfectly serviceable, but compared to the original theatrical cut, it's so many random unnecessary cuts that just kind of breaks the film up, and then you just have like this like one extra little scene, but like, oh yeah, here's this little bit. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I think the egg morphing scene does make that line that she says much more understandable contextually, because she's like, she knows the xenomorphs, because she doesn't know about the queen, obviously, so she just immediately thinks, oh, they're gonna bring Newt back to turn into an egg, and then she meets the queen and it's like, oh wow, okay.
Well, I mean, like they kind of theorize about like about what it is that these xenomorphs are even doing, which is as far as
Yeah,
bringing people, like what, like it's like
they theorize about the queen.
yeah, they theorize, yeah, essentially like where do the eggs come from,
Yeah.
essentially, and it's like it's the queen, and it's like even like a bit of a suggestion that Newt's dad was I think I think they even had to where he was impregnated by with the queen.
Potentially, though I think it'd be much more interesting with Newt's mom because motherly instincts, mom versus mom. It's like essentially it's Newt's mom. I think if she's the one that gets impregnated by the alien queen, like the facehugger, I think that kind of makes a much more interesting dramatic irony
considering
to
that
it.
considering that we never see the mother Newt's mother getting impregnated, really. So it's kind of it could just be either or, really.
Yeah, it's just my own little headcanon because it makes the ending of the film much more dramatically ironic if it is Newt's mom that gave birth to the queen.
Well, yeah, but it would still, but the fact that it still came from Newt's family, that pretty much would, regardless, it pretty much.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
So,
By the way,
Mhm.
there was one thing that I didn't like in Aliens, and I think that even
Mhm.
James Cameron has corrected this, saying, "Yeah, I shouldn't have done that." Where Newt calls Ripley "mommy."
Fuck. What scene is that again?
it's right after they got rid of the alien queen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's that.
She
No,
runs at her and is like,
no.
"Mommy, mommy," something like that.
No, yeah,
No, she says "mommy"
that's
once,
silly.
but
Okay, once.
Yeah, I get that Ripley's the closest new maternal figure for Newt, but she wouldn't just immediately start calling him mommy. No. And did James Cameron actually say that he didn't like that? He regrets putting that in?
Yeah, which
Okay,
understandable
yeah.
because it kind of downplays Newt's trauma, I guess. Her trauma
Yeah.
response specifically.
Yeah, no, for real.
Just
But
kind
the
of think
thing
about that. I'm
is,
not totally sure.
yeah,
Am I
I was just
echoing?
thinking to myself, a lot of
Mhm.
kids call their teachers mom by accident, don't they?
Yeah, I've done
It could
that.
be seen as just a little thing in the moment, not
Yeah,
this
like a Freudian
huge.
slip, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, especially
I
considering
don't
Newt's
think
probably
it's
grieving
terribly bad.
for her mother.
Yeah, I don't think it's too bad or anything. I just it's like one of those things where it's like, it depends on how you want to see it. If you see it as that, just like a little slip, okay, that's fine. But if you see it as her accepting her as her mom, it's like,
Yeah.
eh.
Also, Vic asked a question in the chat.
Do you guys have a favorite scarred xenomorph?
I
I'm thinking I'm hearing an echo from Serena.
No, I think that's Lau. I think
I'm not hearing an echo from Lau.
Okay,
Wait,
I'm going to
this.
mute myself and both of you speak. Okay, so you can see if it's me.
Okay. No, it's Serena.
Wait, really? Because
Yeah,
I'm in a room with
I can still hear the echo.
That's
Okay,
weird.
or Serena, mute yourself and let me see speak
Yeah.
just in case. Okay, let's try. See,
fuck
say
your mama.
something. Yeah, no, it is Serena then. Yeah, Serena, it's you.
No.
I mean, it's not super loud, but it can. As long as it doesn't get super loud, I think it'll be fine. I guess? Question mark.
All I'm going to say is that I'm highly disappointed in Serena for allowing this to happen. How dare she do this?
I'm gonna kill myself.
That's the most responsible thing you could do. Yes.
Yeah.
I guess
it's what Brayden would want as his child.
I guess to answer Vic's question about what our favorite scarred xenomorph is, between Grid, Scorched, number 6, etc.
Scorched and
Mine
Grid because they're
will always
cool.
be number 6 because I'm literally number 6. Like the fact that you are the alien in that game. Yeah, no, 6 is the best one. Also,
Wait.
6 is my favorite number. So yeah, no.
Wait, didn't you say on a stream that you only played the human sections of the game because you didn't want to kill any any people.
That was a joke.
Oh, okay, okay. I like the idea of you going. I don't want to kill humans in this alien game. That's outrageous. I'm gonna play bad Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah, I mean, like you kill
Like,
humans as a predator as
I
well.
bought this game to play 1/3 of the game. Yeah.
It's funny because from what I hear, the human class in like the on the multiplayer for that game was like busted.
Yeah, the predators were the weakest.
Yeah, they were pretty shit from what I heard. But back to the film at hand. I find it interesting that that like you would like a lot of like hold on, let me think. Shit. Yeah, I got nothing. Sorry, my brain just sort of short circuited. Is there anything that you guys wanted
See,
to
like
mention?
honestly, you should have like a little structure that you want us to follow for these things. You know, like in general terms. You know,
Yeah,
like
well, I
okay, we'll
mean,
start talking
Yeah.
about this.
yeah, I mean, usually I do. Usually, but yeah.
Because like here's the thing, I know a bunch of things about how the movie was made, but then this will turn into a stream where I just mention stuff from the Alien Anthology documentary.
Yeah.
Sadly, I didn't get the book. Oh, by the way, guys, like have you seen the making of books that they released for the 40th anniversary?
No, I've only seen like the documentaries. But I would
Yeah.
like to get those
Okay.
books because I love making up books, like just like
They're
learning how
huge.
like the behind the scenes.
They're fucking huge, and just like 2 or 3 for Alien. One is literally
Hmm.
just the ships and how they were designed and stuff like that, and the other one is, you know, like the alien itself, the process, the making. I could have bought so many in Madrid. Thank God I didn't do it, because then I would have to burn them to come here to Argentina, which fuck that. But I wish I could have had a couple of those. Why is aliens
Mm.
good?
Well, I mean, it's got a really well done story essentially, and you got like a wonderful cast of characters essentially.
I don't
You
think
know,
there's a single character that doesn't have a like their little arc in a way, even if
yeah.
it's
The Queen
simple.
is hot.
Amazing, you know, like one great action, pretty much. That's yeah, essentially, and pretty much a
The
good
acting,
mix of
I mean,
action and
Yeah.
it's one
horror.
of those cases. You know, when sometimes it's easy to criticize something for being bad because
Hmm.
it stands out, but when everything's good, it's kind of hard to talk about it, because it's like, why is
Yeah.
it good? Because of everything. Like that's
Yeah,
the
because yeah, it's
easiest
and
answer
and
is
when you have
everything.
something
Yeah.
like Aliens, when you have a movie like this where it basically set standards essentially. It's almost where it's like, all right, so how did it? So to break down how it did it, it's arguably harder than to break down why something is absolute dog shit. I
It
suppose.
did it did the impossible. It made like a perfect sequel to an already basically perfect film while changing the genre and like completely like yeah, it changed the genre that it was in. It'd be like if like
It,
Transformers
it
Revenge of the
changed the
Fallen went from like
genre
action
without
sci-fi to like horror mystery.
Well,
Like
it
it's
changed the
insane.
genre without it changed from sci-fi horror to sci-fi action, but without necessarily losing the horror. Essentially, like it still makes the xenomorphs like the xenomorphs as a
Mm,
collective, as a species. The horror behind them is still present. Essentially, it's just that it's like, all right, now we have like there's multiple of them, but it's like it's still a whole thing. There's still like a persistent threat. Like it's just that now it's like, okay, let's see what happens when instead of like a bunch of people who are totally ill-equipped to deal with one, have to deal with it. How do we? It's like, what does it look like when you have like a military group taking on a whole bunch of them? It's like, what would that look
mm,
like? How would that play out? And this movie, of
yeah.
course, played it out beautifully.
And it's
while
really
also
well
making
done.
while making sure that while still understanding that's like you still have like a really good foundation to build a story off of from the first movie with Ripley, like being the sole survivor of the Nostromo incident, and sort of like building upon that while giving her some new drama to work with, a new arc,
It
as well
expands
as also
upon like
even giving
almost
it.
every single thing actually from the first movie in an organic, believable way. There's nothing that feels like it comes out of nowhere.
Exactly. Yeah, but
Mm.
also giving us like a whole new cast of characters that you could argue as being like, oh, it's like they're like to give us like a body count, but not, but they all give them some, but all these characters still have some quirk essentially that, or have something going on with them. Some more than others to be sure, but they're certainly, but they still stick out. They're still memorable in some capacity.
It's just in like insane. Also,
Even the skill when deciding where to shoot, because you
mm,
know the scene where they like the first scene where you see all the Marines, those first
mhm.
scenes,
Yeah.
they were recorded last. Do you know
Ah.
why?
Hmm.
Like
Well,
that's like, can you guys guess why that was done on
Um,
purpose?
I imagine. I'm trying to think actually, because as a big brain for me.
for the
Think
people
about it
that,
from an acting perspective.
Oh, so they would like know what was gonna happen, so they could act more accordingly. Um,
No, no, no.
it's set last because of the fact that they shot all basically the stuff where they all go through like where the characters are supposedly like going through like the worst hell of their lives and dying from it. It pretty much shooting the stuff all before that last is meant to like make it to where like, oh damn, we actually like come off it like it builds like camaraderie with the actors
Yeah,
as well
yeah,
as.
yeah, exactly. Because also they went through, I think, a sort of boot camp where they trained to actually act like Marines. So they did all that. They shot together. They shot all the scenes. So now they know each other for real, and they can actually have like real chemistry.
Yeah, it would be like, like
oh
in
shit!
universe they have it to where these characters have had history with each other already. So it's just like, how do we have the actors make it seem like that they've had history with each other like the characters do? Well, shit, why don't we just
That,
shoot the movie out of order?
yeah, exactly. That just shows you like how smart you can be with how you shoot your movie.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I definitely because Lau, you mentioned the book for the 40th anniversary. I definitely want to get my hands on that. Because I need to get like a bunch of art books for my university next year. I will I say next year. My second year of uni. So being able to have all those books on hand would be very useful. And I just like art books and like making up books.
Rari like a Monster Hunter. No.
Vic,
Sure.
the 98 master of the rage baiting.
Of course. Yeah. Why do I feel like I should have known that he was going to bring that up? Jesus.
Does he just like Monster Hunter like a lot and he just brings it up all the time?
Well, no, he brings up 98 all the time, but he likes to bring up the Paul Davis Anderson Monster Hunter movie on occasion just to fuck with us, like
Oh, like the 2019 one?
the 2021.
Oh, it was 2020? Oh, I didn't remember. I thought it was 2019.
Yeah, no. I mean, granted, like, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's the Paul
Yeah,
W.
yeah.
It's the
We're
Paul
getting on a
W. S.
tangent.
Anderson
My
version.
my my fault.
No,
But
it's
yeah,
Yeah,
fine.
it's
no,
kind
in
of hard to
2019
talk.
we only got one bad kaiju movie, not two.
King
Like,
of the
Oh,
come on.
Monsters.
I will
I'm
kill you.
sorry, Sea Monster. We just have to speak. We just anyway.
Why you little?
Um, you can call me British, and I'll immediately make everything I've just said wrong. So So, yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about this movie because, like, what makes it good? It's just well crafted. Like, with bad movies and like bad media, you can like go really in depth on like the issues that like it has. But like with this film, it's a masterpiece. So it's kind of hard to like talk about the issues in it because it's
Yeah,
just so
exactly.
good.
Yeah, especially with a movie like this that's pretty much just from a different, like from such a different time in terms of like storytelling discipline and filmmaking discipline. Compared to what we have nowadays. I mean, hell, I've seen a little like this. This may be a bit of a tangent, but I'm trying to like talk, but I will have this tie in a bit. Like when I saw when I went to see went out for the 25th anniversary re-release of the original Fast and Furious. It's kind like seeing that in the theater on the big screen. You know, it's just surreal almost. It was very surreal but in a way of this is this is just from a totally different time that I'm just that I that it makes it kind of as much while I'm enjoying the movie, it's almost like just kind of sad that we probably will never get back to that sort of point in time where we have like this where it's like where
If
movies aren't like because a movie like that would be considered like, oh, it's just like junk food cinema, but it's like compared to like what compared to like is like what we get nowadays is like not even is like worse than that.
we get
you
we
know
get GXK, but if you think
or
about it, Fast and
Spider-Man
Furious
Brand
is
New Day.
equally.
Or Romulus.
Pardon now? Did you say Avengers?
No, or Romulus.
Oh.
I
But
said Brand New Day, but yeah.
yeah. But I would no, you guys, I'm sure you're excited for Doomsday. But seriously though, but yeah, no, it's definitely like I hate to use this phrase because like me and Laugh talked about this. Aliens is kind of a product of its time, which is like how good it is. It's like this. It doesn't feel like a film that would be made today, if that makes sense. Like they can make it today, but like you just wouldn't feel the same as like how it does like now. It's just so good, man. It's such a good
No, I
movie.
don't think so. I think it's just James Cameron. It's a product of James Cameron, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean,
That's why people resent
Even
the
James
Avatar movie so
Cameron can't
much.
really. Even James Cameron today pretty
I
much wouldn't really make a movie like
mm,
this.
but I
No.
like the Avatar movie, so that means they must be good.
No, what I'm saying is that people resent Avatar this much because he could be making
Oh,
stuff
okay.
like this, but they feel like he's betraying all of the potential movies he could be making by making those movies.
I mean, like he's even kind of
I can
betrayed this movie in a way by being okay with what is it like the AI sort of thing where they try to like do what was it the 4K release of Aliens where it just made everyone's faces where they try to try to make it digitally polished up more. And so it's like, but it just makes
Um,
the people actors' faces look like what am I looking at here? Like their faces are all smudged because of
I haven't seen that one. I heard about it. I never seen how bad it is. And I'm not
but
really interested because I do have the anthology, so I don't feel like I need anything more, to be
Braden
fair.
called it like James Cameron destroying history, which like if that's the case, I'm like wow. But like yeah, no, like I can understand some people feeling like very like distasteful to the Avatar films because of that, but also like it is like I would rather James Cameron make like the films he wants to make than the films and like people tell him to make. Like because then like there's so much passion put into the Avatar films, and say what you will about them, it's his creative dream. You know, he clearly has so much fun talking about them and just making them and working on these films.
The only
And
time where I can say that I didn't really enjoy them was this last movie, just because it
Fire and
felt like
Ash.
a combination of one and two, and it felt repetitive.
Mm.
It's like the first one
I
and the second one, I
mm,
don't feel like they're the same movie. Some people were like, "This is the same movie, shut up. Shut up." But
yeah.
ironically, this third one, where he's not actually learning another way of living, which like it feels more similar to the first one and the second one than it should be. Like it's
Fire
one of the
Dash.
most different ones.
Mm.
But yeah.
Fire Dash is definitely the weakest one. I think is like it focuses like it's understandable why Jake and the others stay with the Mech Hyena because they want to stop, the Toku massacre. But also, like, I kind of wish there was more of a more different scene. Like, we got to see more of the the Monquan Ash people because we don't get to see as much of them as I would like to. And I don't think they get to use the fire stuff, like the flamethrowers and all like the cool fire shit as much as I wish to. Like, I wanted to see more just more of them like dive bombing with like the banshees just on fire, like we saw at the beginning when they attacked the air traders. Like that was really cool. I would love to see that where like they use like grenades. They just like that one clip of the guy who's like and like blows himself up. Just like one of them, he's like on this banshee, just like on those two grenades on fire. Just like fucking like dive bombs into like a one of the Tolkoons just explodes.
I think
And
that
the
we
Tolkoons
might
just
get
like
more
fucking
of them
vanish.
in the next
Oh yeah,
movie.
That's-
I think that will be Cameron's priority, just by the fact that this is like a weak point. So I think that he will feel like he needs to fix it in the next one, and I think that he would.
The
But again,
fourth one.
I just
But keep in mind, considering that, well, I mean, like we probably will end up. I mean, I'm pretty sure we will be seeing another Avatar movie in a few
Yeah,
years.
he's
Essentially,
gonna
it is
finish his trilogy or his
well,
chronology or whatever. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like it's just I mean, well, that's the thing. Like, would that? I mean, sure, Fire and Ash, still made $1 billion, but it made significantly less than Way of Water. So, like, it's still it's kind of there is like
If
that whole
he-
thing of diminishing returns. And keep in mind, the Avatar movies are like expensive movies. They cost
Yeah,
a shit ton of
he's
money.
looking into ways to make them like much more efficient to create, which it's very good. He wants to make them more
he's
efficient
creating
to create.
tools
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
just the problem though.
And
Like,
that's
I mean,
what AI is good for, actually, because you can create automated tools to help the artists do their job. Like that's the thing that they use for when you're using green screen and you need to
Yeah.
fill up the space
Yeah,
where the green whatever is standing. That
Rotoscoping.
normally is filled up by AI, actually. So AI has been used in
Interesting.
filmmaking for a long time. It's just that people
Mm.
don't necessarily know it, and like we think of AI as a little robot trying to take your job, but no, it's actually just a tool.
It's a. I
can
think a
use it
lot
to
is
create-
because
people just kind of have an
Sorry.
issue with AI because it's just like it's the quintessential example of late. It's like the tech. It's like the definition of laziness, essentially.
Well,
and
also
what-
like there are some like. Oh, sorry, Sea Monster.
yeah, I mean, well, and that's the thing. I mean, I kind of fall into the camp of being like, yeah, don't use AI. Like, just don't. Like, just like I'd rather that you did.
I
just
think it
don't.
will fall into like the category where it works best. Especially rotoscoping, right? But like that's usually done by hand. AI is gonna be great for that. Like from what I hear, like that would actually be like something that I think AI will like be good at because it can rotoscope out like people and make the process of VFX workflow better. It's just a lot of people don't understand the VFX workflow, so they don't like understand like some of these things that like AI has already been used for in. And because like the stigma around the word, you hit AI and people just immediately like fucking lose their minds.
Yeah, the
Generative AI is the main issue I have.
The problem is like
Yeah.
you have like there's like so many examples of AI being really poorly implemented, like really bad examples of what AI does. Because like does it like I don't know if you guys are aware of like the whole like what is it concept art for Brand New Day that they used like AI
Oh yeah.
for.
They used
Where
yeah.
where the Spider-Man suit is pretty much just a shitty redux of the Toby suit.
I don't think that was AI. I think that was actually just a 3D model, but the quality was really bad.
No, it's like really bad. No, it's like a really shittily done because like you got
Wait,
like
was it?
And,
Is
and
it the
then
one with MJ
Supergirl,
on the rooftop?
yes.
Oh no, that's a 3D model. Like the artist showed off, like it's an actual like a 3D model. It's just like like they used the Toby suit, and it's just like they included the wireframe.
Yeah, but
of, like,
why
the
did they
actual
fuck
3D
up the
asset.
legs of the spider symbol like that badly?
Wait, really? I haven't.
Yeah, it looks real. Like it's something that only AI that like no one who would have crafted this that 3D model by hand would have let that be that shoddily done. Like, unless it was unless they were either that incompetent, which by that point it would just be like, why the hell did
It
like it's
may have.
content,
I
or it
imagine they may have
or it is
upscaled
AI
it.
because like here's the
Yeah.
thing: if it was AI, it would have been made like
Okay,
pretty much back in like
wait,
2023 or
guys,
something like
we
that.
can debate this, like whether it is or not, or we could just use an example that we all know it is AI, which is Lobo in
Yeah.
Supergirl.
Yeah,
Just avoid the
Lobo.
tangent.
Yeah,
That one is AI straight up. Like no one
Yeah.
is going to defend that one, and yeah, no, they started doing that.
Was it
Yeah,
just like
like,
content design, or that's
yeah, it was concept
Yeah,
art for
concept
Lobo,
art.
and like they need to keep that out of concept art because like concept art, like it ruins the point of concept art and it
well, the
ruins the
better
like,
idea would
integrity
be
of it.
just to never mention it. Like, just don't even mention that you're using AI at all because, like,
No, don't use AI, like, because it takes away like actual concept artists' jobs. It's like
exactly.
people and like actual concept artists just make better things.
No,
Like, if you ever
absolutely.
looked at
Don't
like in the
don't use it at all.
if you've
Don't
ever
use it.
looked at like the art of like any of the Doom games, you will fall in love with concept art because like those have some like some of the coolest concept art you've ever seen. Like anything. Like they're just like
Or-
so like awesome.
Or Transformers Fall of Cybertron,
Oh,
they
yeah.
have the art book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
or as Alien Isolation, the Alien Isolation art book. There's tons of cool
Oh
concept
yeah,
art in
too.
there.
I want
Yeah,
to
I
get
saw
that
that.
one. It's just
Yeah, I think there's one in the Forbidden Planet near me, and I just need to grab it.
Yeah,
Just-
another example, like sort of like AI art that I could pretty much sort of point to, it is pretty much like the one is like a bit from a movie called Late Night with the Devil. Like, I don't know how familiar you guys are with that.
yeah.
Is that the
I
animated
watched that
one?
No, no,
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
a movie that came
movie.
out like 2 to
It
3
came out a
years
couple
ago at
years ago.
most.
It's like done in the style of like a new a news
Late night
broadcast of
show.
sort, where it just
Yeah.
ends up being a horror show.
It's Polka
Essentially,
Dot Man from the Suicide
there
Squad.
there
He's
was a use
the
there was
host.
some use of AI art where you have like those like little card things come up and saying we'll be right back after these messages. It's like done like in a Halloween sort of style. Like that's supposedly that was like AI art. And yeah, it's like I mean it's
Interesting.
like the movie's still good. It's just that yeah, it's like one of those things. Like really, you guys couldn't have just like had some artist like just like put
Do
together
that.
something like that. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, in like what, 10 minutes maybe, maybe half an
Not
hour,
even 10
maybe.
minutes. Like that art doesn't even last like 10 minutes. You know what I mean? And it's like and the movie's like pretty low budget. I pretty much get that. So they kind of had some limitations of like who they could hire for that or
A
how
lot
many
of
people they
artists would
could.
just work for free for that. Like,
Yeah, you'd
or
think
like just do like
yeah.
really low.
Honestly, you could have had like an intern probably could have come up with some of that, something like that. I don't know.
But back to Aliens. Is there anything else you want to talk about with this film?
Let me just
We were talking about why it's good.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
what? Yeah, as far as like
Is there anything else? I mean, sound design is fucking amazing. The
oh yeah.
soundtrack being so different from the original one, but at the same time still like feeling like it belongs.
Yeah, you got like
Uh,
some bits of the soundtrack where you got like a dun 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 dun.
The practical effects, like the effects they use, like the face huggers, the xenomorphs themselves,
the
Yeah.
the
Queen.
animatronics.
yeah, animatronics. It's just beautiful.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah, it's just made with skill. Like it's not even just like the
Yeah.
budget and stuff like that. It's like what I've criticized about other movies so much is just like a complete and utter lack of skill. Here's the opposite. Every single thing,
Yeah.
even the face hugger. Do you know how they made the face hugger jump at the camera?
I think they reversed the footage, or I'm blank.
Yeah.
I remember watching a video. Yeah, they
So
reversed
you
the footage.
start
Yeah.
with the face hugger in like stuck to the camera. You add a
Mhm.
wire to it, and then you just pull, and then you just reverse it. And so without any CGI or any bullshit like that, you have the face hugger literally jumping at the camera.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
there's
it's
two
just
sequences
so
that
good.
were reversed back to back, so it looks like it's jumping around.
Yeah, that's
It's-
really well
It's like
done.
when
Yeah.
you see the difference in skill between early Peter Jackson and later Peter Jackson, where it's like, okay, so now you're forcing this old dude to sit in a completely green room just because you couldn't have done the same thing you did before. By the way, he already did it, just the perspective shots. Have your actors all in one set, but now you have to record them all separately. And on the process, you give your
like comparing.
oldest actor a fucking depressive
Oh, yeah.
episode because he cannot
Yeah.
act surrounded by fucking green.
It's like the skill difference between Gareth Edwards and Adam Wingard.
Oh,
Just how they
Yeah.
direct their films. Yeah.
That's not so different. I mean, there's a big difference, but I'm talking about like abysmal differences. Like there's so many people that apparently just don't. All you will have to do is just learn. I think that the problem with a lot of people in film is that they do not look at the how it was made documentaries or the making ofs
Oh no, for
of
real.
of like great directors.
yeah.
I think they don't do that enough. That's the biggest problem. They watch the fucking movie and then it's like, okay, let's watch the next one. They have their
Yeah.
list of movies that they want to watch, which is understandable, but then they are never like, okay, how was this made? Like for real, how was this made?
Yeah. It's like I always like to like know about that kind of stuff. Like, oh, how did they do this? Like, how did they do that? I know
Yeah.
people who just like wouldn't really like they wouldn't know those kinds of things. They would just think, oh, they like people would still think that like CGI you just plug it into a computer and like it does it for you. Like they think like simulations are like super easy to do. Like, oh, you just make the CGI do the CGI, and it's like no, there's like tons of things that go into it.
Yeah, and there's AI right there. Like if you want to simulate the
Yeah.
movement of water in a river, do you think that there's someone that's actually doing like the whole thing? No, no. A lot of the time it's AI, and it's helping you generate this in a fluid motion, and then you correct things.
Yeah, it's water simulations. It's a lot of math, quite frankly, a lot of math.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah.
I hate math. But like yeah, people don't like people will like look at like people will like it's really sad honestly that people will like probably like look at like something like Aliens and not even like understand like the insane amount of craftsmanship that went into that movie. They'll just go, oh man, they don't make films like they used to. Or like even with
Yeah,
CGI these days, they just look at CGI and they just go, oh that looks ugly. That looks it's all CGI. It's CGI fest. And they have like no appreciation for like the actual art form. Like
Yeah,
just
like,
how
there
like
isn't even any
insane it is.
appreciation for like even just the art form of CGI
Or
from
just the
years
artists.
ago.
It was just the artists in general. Like no one like it's only recently that people start to like actually give a shit like oh the CJ artists have to pay the price of like 10 Marvel films coming out like a year, or like the poor like people at like the like VFX have like gone downhill. No, it's just like the people working on these films just don't understand the art form. Like they are like Adam Wingard like he not like Michael Dougherty, he doesn't fully understand like how a kaiju would move. So like you have like the weird animation King of the Monsters. Or actually this is something that like C brought up on like one of Zim's streams. In Rise of the Beasts, the CG in Rise of the Beasts isn't bad because like the artists aren't good at their job or like the designs are different or like anything like that. It's just a Steven Caple Jr. There's like his like third movie because he did like a movie before and then Creed 2 and then he did just Rise of the Beasts. Like
Yeah, and
the
not to
fact that Rise
mention
of the
the fact
Beasts looks
that
as like
and there's
okay as
also
it does is insane.
and there's also just the fact that like Rise of the Beast is like a case where the people making it, like I mean, not necessarily Stephen Cable Jr., but like the people who are like Lorenzo, Lau's favorite person on planet Earth, they don't know what the fuck they even wanted Rise of the Beast to even be. Essentially,
They changed the whole final battle from. It's funny they still use the old final battle footage in like promotional material to this day. I am not even shitting you. It is so funny that they just changed the entire final battle. Like I just like I feel so bad for the poor artists that like worked on all that and then had to redo it all again.
When you have a movie like that where they sink so much fucking money into it and they can't even, and you got like producers and executives and what have you and everyone, like not being able to like just changing the minds of it. Oh, actually, change it. We don't want. Never mind. Don't do it like that. Well, let's do it like this, or no, let's do it like
It's
that.
like
It's something that Marvel does.
pre-production exists for a reason.
It's like they come up
Mm.
like you got studio people like coming in just like with notes or some shit like or something they want to tampering at the last minute pretty much even, and that's why you get CGI that looks rushed or unpolished or unfinished what have you. It's just
Yeah.
like it's a fucking nightmare. Especially for CG artists who have to like finish this stuff or even try to make it look like acceptable, within such short amount of time and with such notice of what it is that they're supposed to be creating. Like no
And it
one,
doesn't
like
help when the people in charge like don't really understand the art form and therefore give poor direction and don't manage their resources very like with Aliens. Cameron knew what he wanted and he's able to direct his team perfectly that they create like exactly what like I imagine is in his head. Or like even with the Avatar films, like he's so good like directing people and managing his resources. And then you look at something like what's a something like shit what's a that has like really shit VFX
the funny thing is
like any
in the
Marvel
case
film, like any recent Marvel film, like the Avengers, not even the Avengers, but like most recent Marvel films, like the Russo brothers don't know what the fuck they want. They keep changing the film, like the VFX every 10 minutes, because it doesn't correlate to like what they want. It's why like it's ridiculous,
well, who even knows what Doomsday is going to look like? But yeah, like with
It'll
James
look like
Cameron,
shit.
it's like with James Cameron, like he was still like fairly he had experience with filmmaking by the time he did by the time he got around to doing Aliens, but he was still like Aliens
Mm,
was like not that far into his career, pretty much. I mean, he pretty much sort of proved himself with the Terminator in terms of like putting it together as a pretty solid movie because that movie's like a very low budget, pretty much it's a low budget horror movie when you get right down to it.
the
Where
thing
the
is,
most like, but with hold on, I'm not. Let me finish. But the fact that that movie was as successful as it was, it pretty much gave studios confidence to be like, all right, we'll give you like a bit of a bigger budget essentially to work with in Aliens, and you work your whatever magic you had with Terminator, you work it with Aliens, see what happens, and yeah, like it was. Like Cameron was pretty much like a kind of a hungry filmmaker, and he was able to make something truly incredible with it.
what I was going to say is like the problem is that a lot of directors or wannabe directors, they're always thinking about stories and stuff like that. And they never sit until like 2 a.m. in their beds looking at the ceiling thinking of how they would actually shoot those things necessarily. I have this one scene
Mhm.
in my head that I would need to do like in exteriors, but we need to build like a fake um, hallway because it's like a dream scenario. And I've been like just thinking of how to shoot that, like how the camera will move, how where you have like all the extras so you can see them. Blah, 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 blah. No one thinks of stuff like that. Everyone just thinks about the ideas and like the funny things and the sad scenes and the people crying, and then they go and they straight up fantasize about their fame, but no one actually sits there and think, okay, if I wanted to make a shot like this, how would I make it? And like I think maybe like you don't need to be like super smart. I don't know how James Cameron did it. It could be either that he's just like really smart, or it could be that he actually spent some time like thinking about things before going in. So when it was time to shoot, he already knew what could work or what couldn't work.
Yeah,
He, I think he definitely thought a lot about it because he definitely seems like the kind
Me
of guy
too.
that would. Yeah. And I think that
Yeah.
I like a lot of the stuff in Aliens is like massive use of like camera tricks, to like give stuff the scale that it should. And like if you look at like the stuff that he did for Terminator, like Terminator 2, and like how he like did the effects for that, like it's masterful. Like he's a master of his craft. Like he understands
Hmm.
this like better than like most directors. Like it's why like all of his films is like visually stunning.
yeah. But Pretty much another thing I want to like go into, and it does kind of relate to some of the storytelling. Is yeah, I mean, like, well, a couple things. One is pretty much fairly like it kind of deals with like a whole bit of like irony about like how you have like Burke and Bishop, who are these two characters that Ripley, doesn't really trust all that very much because they kind of are from Wayland Yutani in some way, shape, or form. And yet Bishop, even though she was very especially distrusting towards him because of like her experience with Ash in the first movie, he's probably ends up being the more human between him and Burke, essentially, when you get right down to it. Because Bishop is actually like a pretty chill dude. like he offers her cornbread and she like slaps it out of his hand, and I just can't help but go, oh.
Not
I mean, granted,
bad
like
for a
when you,
human.
I mean, granted, when you watch it, I mean, granted, if you're watching it from watching the movie the first time, you may not think that at first, or at least not as strongly. But yeah, it's just like he's actually trying to be nice. Well, even if you watch it the first time, they're like, well, he's kind of seems fairly normal. Like, well,
He's a
granted,
chill guy.
yeah. But there's like another thing about how you know how there was like the whole discussion about like how aliens kind of like changing the xenomorph and how they work. How about the whole thing about how the androids in the universe sort of work, because they mentioned like how they kind of like established how Ash was like an older model that's like a lot more that was like more twitchy pretty much. And there's like a whole discussion of like whether or not that's a retcon from Alien, because I'm
I
kind
think
of
that's
starting
perfectly
to think,
fine.
because I mean, I don't know if I always believed that it was a retcon, but I'm kind of stuck. Or if I always think this way, but think this way as I do now. But I think that that was like a whole thing of how Bishop was sort of programmed to say that because of the fact that they don't want because he is from Wayland Yutani and he would be programmed to sort of like, especially in Ripley's presence, like say something that would be like along the line to make Ash look not as bad or not as insidious in terms of intent as what it actually came across, especially with because I mean it's been a while since I've watched. I mean I kind of wanted to rewatch Alien at some point, but I just never had the time to before watching Aliens. But I don't think that there was ever a point in Alien where Ash was twitchy necessarily, or at least like not that I can recall.
No, so the thing is, when he says that, I think he means that, now it's 50 something years later. Ash was probably one of the first models,
Yeah.
of its kind. I don't think it's necessarily something that you could see like a retcon, because from Bishop's perspective, yeah, no, Ash is really old. Like in these 50 something, almost 60 years, yeah, probably like he's incredibly outdated now.
Well, I mean, and there's also the thing that Bishop would be programmed to say that in
Yeah,
response
and
to
that's also
Ripley
true.
because the fact, because of the whole, because like of Ripley's contentious relations with the company
That
at this
could
point.
be if the Marines have a really strong relation with like Wayland, because I don't know if they will be able to hack him without like actually going in and like touching the robots. Touching the robots, that's not. But you know what I mean. I don't know if they can do that remotely.
Well, I mean,
They shouldn't be able to.
what would the well? Here's the thing. It's not like there was any like that conversation would give the Marines any reason to even try to hack into Bishop, if you know what I mean. Like it's just kind of like the whole thing with Bishop is like he's there to like sort of like help them with tech stuff and what have you. There isn't really
Mhm.
Yeah.
any insidious intent,
And I
being
Yeah.
think
sent
it's
there. Because
fine for
especially
like the
considering that
alien.
Burke is with that, especially considering that that the company has already sent Burke to sort of like carry out
Yeah.
the company's sort of objectives.
And also I think it's fine for like that to like older and newer models of androids. And I think what like Bishop means by twitchy is that like Ash tried to like kill her, and because he's a robot, he can't fully comprehend like like those kinds of emotions. So he calls them, twitchy, when in reality, like Ash tried to, kill her.
Yeah, and there could be like part of that can be attributed to the PR thing that you're mentioning, basically, where he's
I'm
like
going
not meant
now.
to,
Ow.
where he's not actually meant to, like be too honest or like even comment on it too much.
Yeah, and it's not like
But
it's not like it's
also,
of
And
his own
he
free
is
will
he is
either.
still company property too, so he may have like certain lines he has
yeah,
to say.
certain
'cause, like, it's
limitations to what he
mandated.
can say.
Yeah, and since he is an android, like pretty much a robot essentially, like it's not of his free will, technically speaking, that he's
Yeah,
saying these things.
and one more thing will be also Sexon. Seegson, I think it's how you say it.
Seegson from
Yeah,
Isolation.
Seegson. Yeah, from Isolation. Like they also have robots that were also really old, and they also were, like having Ash level problems. Of course,
In
Yeah.
Ash was more intelligent, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say, what I was thinking, is that maybe Ash is not even a model. Maybe he's like a customized model specifically for the alien mission, for the Nostromo mission. He's like being handled for that specific purpose of, okay, maybe if you at one point have to kill them, kill them.
Yeah.
He might not be a pure Ash, is what I'm trying to say.
Like with Seegson, the reason why like the Seegson androids like or got altered is because they were really like poorly made by
Hmm.
They were
By
just
a
like
different
cracked
company.
out
Yeah.
in an assembly
Yeah,
line.
by a
They're
different
almost like the
company.
knockoff version. Yeah, but what
Yeah.
I mean is, those were
Yeah,
still
yeah.
a little bit after Ash, so it's
Mm,
probable. Not, I'm just like saying that they are closer to Ash than they are to
yeah.
the current model in universe of what Wayland will be doing at the time of the Sixon event.
Yeah, I get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it like I think it makes sense like in universe and just generally like with the way that technology progresses, I think it makes sense for them to have like different models of androids, especially for like different tasks too, because you may have like some that are specifically built for like mining operations, some that are built for healthcare, some that are built for deep space investigation. Like it makes sense like in the lore.
Yeah, yeah, and it also kind of would it also would pretty much would make some of us it would make some level of sense of like why essentially the Nostromo crew wouldn't know that Ash was an android, essentially, considering that they're basically just truckers at the end of the day, space truckers.
They're space. They're just there. The mission.
They're basically laymen when you
mercenary.
get right down to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say mercenary group.
I was thinking about this. The novelization for Aliens,
Mm-hmm.
because I have the novelization for 1, I have the novelization for 3, 2, and fuck, I forgot Covenant. So I have the novelization for all the movies except Resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys ever read one of any of these?
I know in the Covenant novelization, the Xenomorph fights the Neomorph, and that's like yeah, and like the Neomorph like gets like fucking bodied, essentially.
Yeah, no, not only that, also the scene that you described. Remember, I told you that um, David was supposed to manipulate him into looking inside the
Yeah.
egg. Like he built that trust. That's in the novelization, and it's actually really well done, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking about it because, like, in the Aliens novelization, there's almost nothing that's added that's like, wow, like that's different. It's basically the extended version. So one of the things I just find funny is that Aliens is basically the only movie in the franchise where we can legit look at it and say this is exactly what the director intended. Like there's no changes, there's no added scenes. Like we actually do have like the purest form of what James Cameron wanted to do. I don't know. I just think that's kind of
Cool.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice when a director is able to like put what they actually want from paper to screen, and it actually just like is good. Because like all they really needed to do, like for Fox, was just like cut the film down because they wanted to have like a certain amount of screenings each day. I think, or something like that. So that's why like the film like is was cut down more. Like we lost like the Ripley daughter scene, and like the railgun sequence, because they needed to cut the film down, or like even like the scene where like Newt's father and mother get like attacked by the facehugger, because they needed to cut the film down for Fox.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's which you'd think that probably honestly that honestly would have been it's one of the things where I'm like I kind of understand why they would do that, but at the same time, like the movie just doesn't feel complete without those scenes, especially the whole thing about Ripley and her daughter. So yeah, like that's kind of like that's something. It's like you could have just left that in there, like like maybe you could like the railgun scene, maybe, but even then, like it's weird. It's like one of those things where I understand like why they would need to cut it down, for the runtime for the theaters, what have you. Like it's kind of a business thing, but at the same time, like if it does like obviously like what you do in a film when you add something into it or cut it, it could potentially affect the there's always like a potential for whether it affect on the finished film's sort of quality ultimately. But yeah, it really is kind of a shame that some of that did get cut out of the theatrical version. So having like this extended version really does it pretty much like
Yeah.
some of those scenes really do wonders for it. When you get right down to it. Like even though it already takes like a really good movie and just makes it great, it is still just like it takes like a movie that's already great, essentially, but it's like it just sort of makes it better even more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a really good film overall. Like there's a reason it's stood the test of time. Like a lot of these films, like older films, you kind of get like retroactively people go like, oh no, this wasn't that good. But like Aliens is one of those few films that just like stand the test of time because it's just that good.
Yeah.
You can, yeah, like the biggest criticism, as I said, is like maybe realizing that it limited the alien himself, but that's not really the movie's fault
No, it's not the
necessarily. It's
movie's
just,
fault. It's just kind of what came after it, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
It
much like
was not Aliens' fault that Ripley Scott is a cuck.
Ripley Scott.
Ugh.
Ridley, I
Here we go. Oh shit! Here we go again.
I'm gonna fuck you.
Suicide is painless.
Oh, the bridge is looking real jumpable right now.
All around me are familiar faces.
For now
Oh.
faces.
All around me are familiar.
Familiar Ripley's.
Fuck you. Like, this is gonna be the new like how like Lau makes fun of Kuro all the time for liking Heisei. He's gonna start making fun of me now for saying Ripley Scott instead of Ridley Scott.
Ridley! Oh shit! Oh wait, I'm sorry, Ripley.
Bitch.
Oh god. But yeah. Man, what? Yeah, you know what? I think we've just gone over whatever else that needs to be going over. Other than maybe Yeah, I mean, I guess like the whole thing. I mean, I guess one last thing I want to bring up was like how like just kind of like how Newt essentially sort of like done really well, where she's kind of like this little girl who had to like essentially had to grow up pretty. Maybe not like like not fully grow up quickly, but grow up enough to sort of like understand that's like, oh, her doll's like not really is just a thing of plastic. It's not really a real person. Like, I mean, Ripley tries to comfort her and be like, oh, does she have bad dreams? Nope, nope, I don't see any bad dreams or stuff like that. So like, well, that's because that's because she's a thing. She's plastic. She can't dream. It's like it's like it's so like that's a reminder, like that sort of childlike innocence just sort of was ripped, not even so much grown out or she grew out of it, but it was like just ripped away from her because of all the xenomorphisms going on. Yeah, it's kind of
The
like
xenotisms.
the xenotisms, exactly. Yeah, it's just it's like there
The
is just but
the strange form.
yeah.
The strange
I
tism.
love that. I love that channel.
You like Alien Theory?
Strange Form is a YouTuber that reviews basically like alien
Aliens
figures.
are the
That's
really good
actually where I got
people.
the when we were talking about the Hot Toys figure earlier. That's where I got like that from, because he did like a video on it.
Oh, I have to check his channel again. Like I haven't seen it in a long time. That's just the algorithm.
Yeah.
The
Fucking with
algorithm
him.
is against us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Algorithm, I fucking hate us. I watched his old all Hot Toys alien figures ranked.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah.
But anyway, when it comes to like, fuck Newt, it is one of those things where I'm like, yeah, no, I can see why people are so mad at Alien 3. But at the
Yeah.
same, like, because here's the thing, like the reason why I don't mind is mostly because I also just feel like Alien doesn't work like a franchise that should have like a happy ending. But that doesn't mean that you should just kill people off screen, right? Like, I mean, it's a thing that happens, in real life, but real life is not supposed to just define what movies are meant to be, right?
Yeah.
Like, just because terrible things happen in real life doesn't mean that that doesn't excuse to forego like character moments in fiction. That's just lazy.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, this was a reason why when you have some sequels, like just do something that undermines like a
Dark Fate.
predecessor. Yeah, Dark Fate. You know what? Spider-Man, Brand New Day. Like just undermining good pay.
King of
Like
the
actually some pretty.
Monsters.
What?
King of the Monsters.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing. Well, what exactly did 2014 have going on that Kingdom Monsters like undermined? Let's just. I mean, but
San Francisco got destroyed, and King of the Monsters is like, guys. Plants grew in San Francisco. It's okay that your family got fucking trampled by Godzilla. Don't worry, guys. It's all gonna be okay.
yeah, but how like would that even be? How is that even like anything like Newt and Hicks dying off screen? Dying between.
Yeah.
It's-
He's talking about like it's not on the same
Okay.
scale.
They're not even
It's not on the
comparable.
same scale.
Okay,
I
my
think it could be,
apologies.
but the magnitude is really different. Like the magnitude is the main difference.
Orders of magnitude. City gets nuked. I just like bringing that up occasionally because I think it's funny. But yeah, no, like I think a different example that I think is comparable is the Star Wars sequels.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, but it's like, oh yeah, Return of the Jedi ends with ends with like everyone all happy and what have you, that the Emperor's dead, Darth Vader redeemed, the Empire's pretty much like maybe not completely gone, but they've been toppled to the point where it's like, yeah, the rebellion has pretty much all but won this war essentially, and then
Somehow the Empire has returned.
somehow
Palpatine returned.
Yeah,
I
it's
like how
Yeah, they established
not-
that the First Order, essentially is essentially like powerful enough to topple the New Republic, which didn't really do anything about it and didn't do shit for the past 3 decades. Or heroes are in
Guys,
or in stupors at this point. And
Sea
the
Monster,
First
don't
Order,
you
and then when
understand?
you get
It's
to the
like
Rise
real
of
life
Skywalker,
politics.
and when you get to Rise of Skywalker, it's like, oh, the First Order just may as well been the Empire again, almost literally, definitively, because Palpatine was behind it all along, anyways. So
But don't you
what was the
understand? They
point?
had to make Luke a hermit and ruin his arc, like from the
They
previous
had to make
films,
Han
because
Solo regress back into his old ways and make him a loser dad, pretty much an absentee dad, and then he dies trying to get his son to be good again.
see, that could be like a powerful moment if the movie was good. Like if I actually cared at all about like
It could have
Kylo
been.
Ren.
It could have even been powerful retroactively if like the sequel did anything with it.
No, we
The two
needed
movies-
we needed to assassinate Luke. We just assassinated Han Solo. We had to assassinate his best friend next.
Oh yeah, Lando Calrissian doesn't even Lando Calrissian is not even present until Rise of Skywalker. Leia doesn't even hug Chewbacca when he gets back after Han Solo died. No, she fucking hugs Rey. Like J.J. Abrams even admitted that was a mistake. It's like this shouldn't even have happened. Like this should have been obvious.
No,
You should have had them hug first.
you're criticizing Rey as a character, so therefore you are sexist. I'm sorry, buddy.
No, I'm criticizing.
Yeah,
I
didn't know. I didn't know I was talking to a sexist all this time.
Yeah.
I do not condemn his behavior. I just wanted to say that friendship with Sea Monster has been terminated.
You are terminated.
And to all the women in chat, all like 0.3 of you, I just want to get really close to your stomach and say,
Close
hey,
to their
like,
stomach?
yeah.
What you should have
I just want
said.
to say,
No, what you should say is I'm single.
crumbs,
So
crumbs, like get away from her. Sorry, I'm just really passionate about feminism.
Get away from her, you bitch. Oh god.
Dear period of crimes, leave her alone.
Yeah, and Brand New
Those
Day
kinds of men deserve to
literally-
get cucked.
Yeah, and Brand New Day pretty much literally just backtracking on everything that No Way Home and even
No,
Far
but
From
you
Home to an
see,
extent tried to do.
He swings slightly better this time, so it's okay, guys. Don't worry.
The
Hulk is back, and he does
no better than what we had in the Raimi films or the Tasm films. I'm sorry, you're just not.
I just think you're a hater, dude. I'm sorry. You just hate fun. He doesn't have to be perfect.
I've liked every Spider-Man movie until Brand New Day. By the way, just for the record.
Also,
Yeah,
so you're a
but-
hater. See,
Brand
You
New
like
Day
every-
did
See,
something.
you're a hater.
Brand New Day molested me in a way. I was just like,
It radicalized Rooney. It touched Sea Monster. I dread to think what it'll do to Kuro when he watches his pirated copy on 480p.
Ugh.
It's gonna make Kuro white. It's gonna be terrible.
The thing is, I pretty much as far as Alien 3's impact on aliens, pretty much, it's like I can pretty much understand somebody, at least admiring Alien 3 for trying to do something a little different, trying something with the story essentially of Ripley, what have you, and maybe it happened to be like, oh, aliens should pretty much end like a little more tragically or more sadly, as opposed to going on. It's like you didn't you still could have told some kind of story with Newt and Hicks, in Alien 3 if you wanted to. There was potential there. You could have had Newt could still have some her, I mean, yeah, she has a new surrogate mother with Ripley essentially, but there's they both there could still be that trauma there that Newt, especially with Newt being being a child still, that's something that she would be grappling with. They could have done something with that,
Or you could just leave the story open ended and just focus on a different.
or just leave it alone. Just leave the two alone. Maybe make a
Just-
mention that they made
this
it
is-
home safely. They now
it's
have
an
like a
issue of,
cabin on Earth with
yeah,
Jonesy,
a
what have
lot of-
you. Maybe
It's an
Hicks.
issue of a lot of films where they just can't leave their characters alone. Like, look at Stranger Things. They have to bring back the entire group chat, just to deal with like the Upside Down. And it's like half of you don't even matter.
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck was the science teacher like doing there? Like, what Jenna? Like, what are we doing, guys? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, like I mean, I know I keep mentioning Brand New Day, but it's like you keep like they bring MJ and Ned Leeds back just to be like just to have Peter like get back with them. It's like though it's like you could have like No Way Home. The point of No Way Home's ending was to give Peter like essentially a reset, and now you just have completely undone it.
But buddy, that film is like gonna be like your 13th Reason Why.
What?
Don't you get that film's gonna be like your 13th Reason Why?
Oh. All right.
Like there's hatred in your voice, like when it comes to this movie.
It's funny. Like I was kind of like bleh about it when I first saw it, but the more I think about it, it really does. It just pisses me off more. Like,
It's definitely
using-
the type of movie that Antoine Gramola would defend, and he has.
he did defend it.
Yeah.
He what's funny? He did like a response stream to Mulder's Rage video on it, and the funny thing is
no, it's terrible. No. Actually, me and Minecraft were watching it on the server.
I
right?
wished I was there, but I was working, so
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Was
And we
really
didn't
late.
finish because it was so frustrating, and the fact that he like literally says, "Mulder, you didn't watch the movie because of this," and he's like completely fucking wrong. It's like, no, actually, Mulder is right. Like,
Did he use the I word?
I
defend
don't
Brandon
even
Day.
remember. I think he might have. Like, I wouldn't put it above him to just say that everything.
As you see, Brandon Day was an implied film, so they don't have to worry about
Oh my
it.
god.
Rooney just like heard that like a mile, like 2,000 miles away, and he just like flinched like an abused dog. He just
It's
curled
like that
to his
clip from
knees and just
SpongeBob.
cried.
It's like that clip from
You-
SpongeBob where they hear where SpongeBob goes blah after putting his tongue on the snail food, and someone's like, I feel a disturbance.
Rooney hears the word implied, and he's like, I feel a disturbance in the force, and just chokes out chokes out Brayden or something. He's just talking to like one of his IRL friends, as Cashy. He just hears like implied, and just uses the force like choke the poor dude. He's like, I feel a disturbance in the force.
It's like it's like that trigger word for like one of those like
It's just he's gonna be in therapy in like 2 years because of the word implied. He'd be like, no, don't put me in the padded cell. I don't put this jacket on me. What are you talking about?
well, Black and Rudy is like it turned out to be like a sleeper agent, and the word imply is like what the
His Winter
like one of those
Soldier
words
code.
that- yeah, Winter Soldier code. Exactly.
He's our great Snyder Pope. I don't know what you're talking about. Like he will deliver us from James Gunn.
Yeah, well, here's the thing: how many popes have you know that may or may not be sleeper agents?
That's the thing. I don't know, but two things can be true. He can be the great Snyder Pope.
Confirm nor deny. But
No, I cannot confirm nor deny he is both the great Snyder Pope and a sleeper agent for the U.S. government.
exactly.
But back to Aliens. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Honestly, I'm kind of like drawing out blanks now. Like I think, it's one of those movies it's like, yeah, we all know it's a great movie. We all know it, but you know what? For its 40th anniversary, why not talk about it a bit at this point? Why not go over, give people a friendly reminder of why it is.
It's just a good movie, man. Like I love it. It's such a good film.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like how I would rank it among Cameron's movies, I mean, like, not that I've seen all of Cameron's movies, but I've seen like at least a fair chunk of them. Like the Terminator movies and Avatar and Titanic, even. Like T2, I might say T2 is still
Titanic.
best film, but Aliens is still. But Alien, like it's close. It's pretty close between it and Aliens.
I haven't watched
Um,
Titanic in a long time.
Guys, here's a spoiler: the ship sinks.
That
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Lau. I had to give you this tremendous spoiler for
I know.
Titanic.
No, I mean, I haven't seen Titanic in a long time. I
Oh,
have
okay.
watched it.
Okay.
Like it was all over the place when I was a kid. You know, Leonardo DiCaprio got famous off of that one.
Yes, Leonardo, my favorite Ninja Turtle. I'm so surprised that he hasn't like played Leonardo in any like team and team media. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the film's great. It's a fantastic sequel. It did a lot good for the franchise. It's probably like the second best Alien movie next to the original. It's just good.
I kind
Not
of
much
rank
you can
it as
say.
the best Alien movie myself, but yeah, no, it's pretty. That's, I mean, like I could totally understand someone putting the first movie above Aliens, but I mean, I guess I'm one. It's one of those instances like Alien and Aliens. It's kind of like one of those things where either answer which one is better is valid at this point. It's not even like a subjective thing. It's like objectively, it's like like either one, like either one could be at the top, could fight each other. But yeah, it's like it really is just a matter. But yeah, like if you were to ask me personally with a gun to my head, which one I prefer, I'd say I prefer Aliens. But
Mm-hmm.
Alien is the one that I've seen the most in cinemas. Like multiple fucking times I've seen Aliens in cinemas. Funny enough, when they put like a sequel from James Cameron, I watched Terminator 2 in cinemas, but for some reason Aliens is never there. That's the annoying part.
that is annoying. That sounds really annoying, actually.
Yeah, because I like watching Alien, right? But like, why is it the only option I've had when I was in Madrid? That was like the only one.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
so it's this unfair thing where like my best experience, like watching something in the movies is not the same as watching it like on your fucking home. So in that regard, Aliens has the disadvantage because of that, because it doesn't have the theater experience advantage that Alien has. So I like Alien more, but at the same time, it's like I would like to watch Aliens in cinemas so I can actually, like fairly compare being there, like actually, surrounded by people that like the movie.
Hmm.
Yeah, but like
It's
setting
Yeah, that'd be
different.
really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, but like if you were to like set like if you were to like set like theatrical like that's sort of like a qualifier as far as the theatrical aside, which one would you say is sort of
I they're so different. I don't know. That's the problem. It's hard because it depends on you know what, I'm going to be um like Ripley Scott, and I'm going to say that it depends on the day, because
oh.
like again, sometimes I can look at Aliens for what it's done, and depending on the mood, sometimes I will be like, dude, I wish we had had something else, right? Like not the ant behavior, not just have them turned into like bugs basically. But it's not something that annoys me. It's just something that like from time to time I can think of, and I'm like, I don't know if that was like the best choice, but at least the movie's good. So that's something that with time I've realized it's more constant in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah. Yeah, and I guess that will pretty much do it for that. Happy 40-year anniversary, Aliens.
Happy 40 years. It's been a
Yep.
wild ride in this franchise. The Queen. It's funny, I have the Mecha Alien Queen, but I also have the old Kenner Flying Queen. And the mechanism still works. It's just the issue is the wings are, for some reason, like, it seems to like whoever owned it previously, because it's like a pre-owned copy, they must have like removed the wings and like bolted them back like upside down. So my Queen just has upside down wings for some reason.
Wow. Yeah, that is kind of weird. But yeah, slay, Queen, slay.
But
Exactly. But yeah, that just about does it for the stream. Yeah, so thank you guys for coming on, and thank you all for listening to this episode 72 of Sea Monster Live, where we were just talking about aliens. You know, but some of the Alien franchise as a whole, but mainly aliens. But before we go, any shillings y'all want to do before we leave?
I guess we can promote my shop. It's hold on, let me put it in the Discord so then you can bring it up on screen. Come here.
I can't do screen share, unfortunately, but
Well, what a shame. But just for the audience at home who is still listening, you can go to my shop. I've renamed it to make it more on theme. It's called Dinosauria Model Shop. I sell tiny little handcrafted dinosaur models that I make. I make at home. I paint them and I send them off, and people tend to really like them. They're pretty reasonably priced. I try to keep the costs low. Shipping is a little high, but that's just the nature of things at the moment with like tariffs and stuff, especially like going overseas. But yeah,
Depending on where you are, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of them are hand painted, handcrafted by me. I put a lot of love and care into them. I've got tons of different dinosaurs. We have a bunch of new dinosaurs like Concavenator, Velociraptor, Stegosaurus, Argentinosaurus, Spinosaurus, Allosaurus, Ceratosaurus, T-Rex, Gorgosaurus, Giga, all the ones you could possibly want. And we're coming out with a bunch of new ones very soon. Probably by the end of August, there'll be a bunch of new dinosaurs on the shop. Well, at the end of August, start of September. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, from the only shitting I have to do is just, please buy my dinosaurs.
Cool.
And well, you can find me by this same exact name, Cascade, on YouTube. I just made a video talking about some of the artworks I've been doing. And actually, right as I'm saying this, I'm drawing the next thing for my channel. It's hard as fuck because I'm replicating certain elements on this kaiju that are really like I never done something like this, so it's going to take some time. But yeah, I just released a video last week or so. You can also find me by the same name on X or Instagram, and there you can also see some of my uploads. X is more active than Instagram, to be fair, since that's just like my personal stuff. Um, and yeah, like if you like alien stuff, soon I will be uploading some little things about alien. But I mostly just do kaiju and creature design on YouTube. When it comes to X, like you just see my sketches and stuff like that I'm doing at the moment, like little things to decompress from everything, I guess. So yeah, you can find me in those three platforms. I also have a Reddit where I upload some things, but that's basically dead. I almost don't upload anything there, honestly, and I don't even remember my username from Reddit unless I look at it. So yeah, never mind.
All right. And obviously, this has been your host, the Sea Monster. And as far as obviously, you can find me on here at Sea Monster Essays. As far as what I got coming up next, again, as far as like stream topics go, I'm not entirely sure when the next stream will be. Probably at some point in September. I might do at least one stream in September, but it's just a matter of what topic it'll be. Honestly, it's kind of one of those things where who knows what it will be on. But
Well, no.
oh gosh. But as far as videos that I have in the works, I do have a couple of videos in the work. An essay video for the Halloween season that's going to be coming up. Obviously, it'll be out in October because Halloween, so on. And I'm kind of also currently stay tuned for any updates about my One Monstrous Moment sort of thing that will be coming pretty soon. Updates. That one will be out in November, obviously, in time for that particular movement. Though it's Zero Sum Edition, rather. So I got some videos in the works, but yeah, stay tuned for updates on here, updates on my Twitter, CMonster, KCI parentheses. I also do, and I also have an Instagram, so as well. But yeah, that's about it. See you all later, and get away from her, you bitches! Bye.